Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. Pokopia is out today, the brand new Pokemon game, partially developed by Game Freak, and there's a ton of new implications. There's new things in this game that might have implications that I'd like to discuss. There's a ton of new theories that might connect some of these new Pokemon that are in this new game, Pokopia, to wins in waves, possibly champions, or any other Game Freak Pokemon title. Super excited to be here tonight with all of you guys in the chat and talk about this. My name is DustyGogoat. Today I'm joined by Hoops and Hip Hop.
Yo, what's up?
And an infamous trainer.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
As soon as the music runs out, I'm gonna swap the layout that I have here because I just realized I'm covering Hoops, but not in the other layout, so we can keep talking. Yeah. I'm a ditto. That's what's going on. I'm a ditto. That's we'll say that it's Pokopia Day, so I'm just a ditto. But how you guys doing? It's what a week. This is my favorite part of new news. It's like getting to chat with some friends. You know,
it's been fun. Insane. It's been awesome to see all the reactions and everyone kind of just talk about it. Even just people who aren't as kind of tuned or locked in. That are, even friends that have texted me like, "Oh, did you see the new trailer? What do you think about it?" Which has been pretty cool.
It's been nice.
Yeah, it's been insane. It's been tons of fun. It's just super. Like it's always crazy. It's always a good time when a new game or even like a generation gets announced. But it's been so much better just because the vibes have been so positive. Everyone is like, yeah, this looks good. There's no real bickering for the most part. Like it's just such a refreshing feeling.
Dude, honestly, that's such a good that's such a good point. I actually have I keep watching and I'm like lurking on the internet and I keep expecting someone to be like, this looks horrible, or like I'm expecting something to pop up which will like, I don't know, just like ruin the fun, but I haven't seen it yet. It's been a week and I haven't even seen it yet. So yeah, I think that is a really good benefit.
Yeah. And like the icing on the cake, which we're going to talk about today, is Pokopia, because to get Gen 10 announced and then a week later we get this really cool spin-off game that's kind of like half main series because there's a lot of lore stuff, it looks like, in this game. And also it's like people are talking about it as if it's like an early game of the year contender type of game.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's like, what more could you ask for as a Pokemon fan? So
it's true.
And Hoops, you just picked up Pokopia, right?
Yes, I literally just got back from the store and picked it up because I wouldn't say I was hesitant, but I was like, I don't know if I'll get this day one or how much I'll play it, because like it is a spin-off game. Not that it didn't ever look like, it always looked good to me, but it's a spin-off, so I didn't really know when I would pick it up or how much I would play it, but like the discourse and just like the trailers we've seen and the gameplay, it's just all been so good. And then this past day I've been seeing like screenshots of stuff, and it's just like, this game is just like on another level. Like this is not a normal spin-off game, so I had to run out and get it because I don't think I can resist it any longer. So
that's so great to see right here.
I'm gonna be diving in tonight. So.
Yeah, Infamous. Awesome. You think you're getting it?
Yeah, I mean, like we kind of mentioned, I think with like the reveal of like wins and waves, but also with this game, it's been overwhelmingly positive. Like the reviews have been 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s for this game. And I'm also not a huge spin-off Pokemon game person, but when you have reviews this high, it's kind of hard to like not want to go pick up a copy, see what everyone's talking about. And again, it's kind of attracting even people who don't normally play Pokemon games, but do kind of like this kind of like cozy game genre. It's attracting a lot of those eyes too, and I'm like, maybe it is worth it. So I think I'll be picking it up soon myself. Maybe not today, but maybe like this weekend or something. I'll go grab it.
Yeah,
and play it some too.
I think the biggest fear was that like this game would just not have a lot of like content, or the content would be, or like the gameplay would be kind of like surface level. But I guess I don't even like. There have been things that I've seen that are exciting, but since the game released last night, there's all sorts of I guess like more like hardcore nerdy theory. Like there's almost like new canon lore, things that are associated or connected with the mainline games that will make a playthrough of this feel a little bit more. I don't know. It's like I feel like this game has bought my trust. You know, it's like it's bought my trust. And today on the podcast, we're going to break down a bunch of things that I've been seeing and theorize a little bit before. I mean, again, we haven't played the game, so I don't think there's anything that we can actually spoil. I'm seeing some people ask in the chat, like, are we going to spoil things? We haven't played the game. I don't think we're going to talk about any story spoilers, but there are, there's images and stuff online that I would like to discuss in terms of some of the new Pokemon forms, like, Pikachu, the new Rotom form. We're going to be talking about some stuff that have been revealed, but there's no story spoilers. I literally know nothing about this game in that regard. And I would like to talk about Winds and Waves later in the show as well, because that's come out, and I haven't actually talked to either of you about Winds and Waves. So yeah, I guess I'll say let's just get right into it. I guess I'll say when we first got the announcement of these new Pokemon, right? The first thing that I thought was, I want to say it was like these guys, right? It was the first 4. This was coming off of the back of, it was like ZA era, right? And we were spending a lot of time with Eternal Flower Floette. That was on the brain. This was also coming off of the DLC for Scarlet and Violet and Legends Arceus, where we had the Blood Moon Ursaluna. And I think a lot of people, correctly, I don't know if it was a lot of people, but my brain definitely went to, these things are all kind of the same. That's kind of what it felt like. It felt like a one-of-a-kind Pokemon form change, which is kind of cool. And in my mind, that feels legendary. But I guess, if a legendary Pokemon needs to be more powerful, then maybe we could consider these things like anomaly forms or something, right? Like it's not a regional form. It's literally it's like one particular Pokemon undergoes one particular form, right? It's like these Pokemon as individuals, which is kind of cool. And now we have dex entries for these Pokemon, which give us a little bit more story, or it gives us a little bit more of their backstory. Very interestingly, all of these dex entries also give us like the types that these Pokemon have. I don't know. Have you guys seen this at all?
I mean, of course we've seen those. I haven't seen I think I saw Smeargle. I haven't seen that. That's new to me.
Okay.
But I haven't heard if there's like type changes or anything, so I am interested.
Yeah,
if there is type changes, because that brings something to the table.
Exactly. So okay, I'm setting it up. This is great. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it. So
okay.
I know where you're getting at.
Okay. So strangely, a lot of these Pokemon actually don't change type, right?
Oh.
We do have some new weirdo forms, like this weird Tinkaton. They don't change type, strangely, I think.
Okay.
But the one that does change type is this Stereo Rotom, which is pretty cool. And let me pull it up right here. Let me try to get like a bigger image. Let's see. It's this Stereo Rotom, which I kind of clocked as like a battle form. I'm like, this feels in line with like all of the other, like the orange devices that Rotom takes hold of. Mm-hmm. Yes, I was kind of. I'm like, okay, well, if they're gonna do it, this might be the perfect time for us to get like a sound type introduced with this new Rotom form that is a battle form. We didn't get that. We didn't get the sound type, but it does strangely get a normal type, which is so weird because if every other Pokemon that is introduced in Pokopia does not change their type, right? Like this Snorlax is just I want to review this today. Like I'll go one by one, but like if the Snorlax is still just a normal type, like why the heck is this Rotom changing a type to become normal type, which represents the fact that it's a stereo, which is kind of cool. I don't know, but I guess we could start there. I just think it's interesting.
No, I think it is. I think for one, been a while since, I mean, I don't think we've had any Rotom forms over the last couple of years. Just the type changes, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is cool, and it's definitely a Pokemon like Eevee where the possibilities are endless, right?
Yeah.
Any appliance, any electronic item they wanted to create for it, literally you could have a Rotom for every single Pokemon type if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I didn't expect normal, but I guess it is the most fitting for like all of our sound-based Pokemon that we've ever had.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's interesting. I do kind of wonder if they do bring it to the mainline games. How does it still keep Levitate? Then it has 2 immunities,
Yeah.
Ground and Ghost. Kind of crazy.
That would be the implication.
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. I'm down for it. That's pretty cool. Hopefully they add more. Maybe that's just like hey, here's a little sneak peek in Pokopia, right? If you catch it and you know. No Gen 10, we're gonna go crazy, and here's all these extra forms or different typings you're gonna get later on. That'd be pretty cool. I like it. Sturgill's pretty simple too. Boom, stab, boom burst on the
Dude,
Rotom
yes.
Seeker.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy that they gave this a normal type, because I think what I think a lot of other people are thinking, and that is that the fact that they gave this a new type that it did not have before, and it's a new form that is like officially referred to as like the stereo Rotom, like Low Rotom or all the other ones. I'm like 90% confident that this is coming to Winds and Waves. Like it is going to be a main series form, because I could be wrong, but I don't even think types have much to like. They don't have much significance in Pokopia. So it's like, why give a brand new type to a brand new form of a Pokemon if it means more, like nothing, basically?
Yeah.
Like I would almost bet money that this is going to come to Winds and Waves, and it's just like that intermediary kind of like tease preview type of thing that they did a lot back in the day with like Munchlax and like Kecleon.
Yes.
That very much feels like this kind of thing where it's like, here's a little tease of what's to come. And I think that's so cool, because not only is it exciting for the main games because it's like new Rotom form, that's awesome, but then it's like all the more exciting for this game because it's like they are putting stuff in this game that is, well, more or less like main series.
Yeah.
Like, and that is a big deal.
I just think it's great, yeah, because I think we've been conditioned to think like spin-offs just have their own canon, it's their own lore, it's their own like story. It's they're not, when they're not produced by Game Freak, okay, they're going to be slightly different rules. Like in New Pokemon Snap, there's the I don't even know what it's called. It's like the there's like a glow feature. So it's like you have like the gimmick of that game and that world is like this glowy, like Pokemon can become glowy or whatever, and that's kind of fun. And I'm sure we've all had a moment or two where we've thought, oh, like if this was brought into the real game, like what would it be? But it is never going to be brought into the real game. And what's cool about Pokopia is it is like a Game Freak, like Game Freak's attached to this, which is sick. Which means all these new characters are legitimate. Like they're I don't know. I just think that's so much fun.
I think that's
it kind of.
You guys gotta interrupt each other more. That's what we do on this podcast.
No,
You guys are being too polite.
Oh boy. It's kind of interesting with Rotom because I know Soul talks a lot about like he thinks that these forms are gonna be able to be transferable into home.
Yeah.
I was not like necessarily buying what he was selling with that.
Same.
But like I said, I am like sold on the Rotom stuff. Like Rotom is most likely happening in my opinion. And Rotom, therefore, he kind of opens the door up a little more for these other forms. I'm still not like totally sure if that will be the case, but I could see them being kind of like they remind me a lot of the Ash Cap Pikachus. Like those were a promotional event Pokemon you could get. And it wasn't like you could find it in the wild or it had super important significance. It was just like a fun thing. I could very much see something like that happening with these guys where like you can bring them in if you have the game and like they can exist, but they're not going to be like this like game changing thing. They're just like a fun addition.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Like just doing like, or even if like it's not something we can transfer. Them just doing like in-game events, just kind of tied to that. Like, hey, here's a mystery gift for, this Snorlax or, this Pikachu and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool too, just to have those options. And like maybe they have like a special move tied to it or something like that if they want to kind of introduce that perspective. But yeah, they kind of, it just kind of adds a little bit of variety just to have almost just like all your normal Snorlax and then this mossy Snorlax, and like it just adds a little something different, which is cool.
And they could add new ones as well. I guess I didn't even think about the Ash Cat Pikachu in this way, but you're right. Ash Cat Pikachu is literally it is the one Pikachu that is owned by Ash, and the hat signifies its bond with Ash, where it's kind of like the Battle Bond Greninja, It is a specific Pokemon that has undergone it's undergone some sort of change, right? Because of its specific experiences, which is like, that sounds kind of like, this is going to sound kind of flowery and like maybe just theoretical, but like that is what like trait evolutions is. That is what experience is in the, like mechanically in the game. You battle, you get experience, you evolve, right? That's what Pokemon always is. It's like the experiences define what the Pokemon ends up, or the specific experiences, right? It could even be traveling to a new region and then activate, upon evolution, it evolves differently, right? It's all connected. Dude, I brought this up because it's got the, like, this is concept art for mossy form Snorlax, and it's got the Game Freak logo because I don't know, it's just kind of cool to see that, like, it's all internal.
Looks good.
Yeah,
too.
and
Love the art for it.
and
Yeah,
the fact that it's Game Freak is also huge, because we sometimes talk about other forms of Pokemon in spin-off games like Shadow Lugia or Primal Dialga, and people always are like, put those in the main games. Well, the reason why those aren't in the main games is because those games were wholly developed by another studio. So Game Freak has no involvement with Shadow Lugia or whatever. They might like give their thumbs up, like, yes, you can run with this, but they didn't make it. Whereas these forms, Game Freak have made them. Like, they are responsible for them, basically. So that gives a lot more like credence to the idea that they could possibly be incorporated somehow.
dude.
And yeah, I just think it's exciting. I also really like your idea that you mentioned earlier about these being kind of like anomaly forms. Like, it's like one individual Snorlax, this thing happened to that changed its form.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like, I don't know if this will be a thing that happens, but I feel like that is an idea that could kind of like snowball into its own mechanic. Like, that could be like the new regional form, where it's like, in this region we meet a handful of anomaly Pokemon, where it's like, this Pokemon had this happen to it, or this Pokemon had this happen to it, and now it's like you have like a quest that you can like do to get them because they've got this story that like caused them to end up this way. I just think that is a very, very cool avenue that they could possibly explore. This is kind of the scratching the surface.
Yeah, go for it, Infamous.
I was gonna say, I think like kind of talking about it all together, you guys kind of saying these, like, it really just sounds like exactly what they did with Blood Moon or Saluna.
Yeah.
And like that same quest, that same storyline, right? And then you can include whatever characters in it. But then doing that for some of these other Pokemon, I think we really cool, really unique. Maybe some that are kind of like forgotten and have not as much kind of praised or looked at.
Yeah.
Those kind of really cool one-offs. So that'd be sick. I think that's just really cool ways, especially to kind of give old Pokemon that maybe won't get a Mega anytime soon or a special form, a little something on the side. So I think that'd be really cool.
DJ.
And it also like
I want to shout out DJ Isaac, who just sent us a super chat. Thank you, man. I hope everyone's having a great night. I was kind of in my head. I was like, man, should we keep going live? Are people still catching up on older streams? But I love to see everyone in the chat right now hanging out and participating. And thank you, DJ Isaac. He says these new forms for mainline as well. And honestly, dude, I think it's gonna happen. I
think so.
I'm pretty sold. I did want to bring up, like, while you guys are talking, like, Bulbapedia already has an article or like a section on the Pokemon forums like page, and they're calling them unique forms. And it's all these things that you guys were talking about, like Pikachu, like Ash Cat Pikachu, Spiky Eared Pichu, Ash Greninja, Eternal Flower Floette, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and I didn't even think about this one, but Data Zarude is also one of these.
From the movie. Wow.
Yeah.
The movie's kind of forgotten about these
Right?
days, but...
Looking up right now,
really
like what the
think-
difference is. I think they have the same stats.
Yeah, I feel like it's. I could be wrong, but I think it's just cosmetic.
Yeah, I
Like
think
he just
I think
has
so.
the scarf.
And
But,
that's enough. I think that's even more of a reason I think a lot of these forms from Pokopia can be pulled into it, and then even just tied into like especially if we're going to get side quest anyway.
Yeah.
Like imagine you can have that mossy Snorlax. He's chilling. Like there's like a whole event where it's like, hey, there's this green blob sitting in the middle of the road or the middle of the path in the forest or wherever mossy area there is, and I think that would be a really cool tie-in for like a side quest they can include in the game.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I think I might have just convinced myself a little more because I can totally see a world where in Winds and Waves they do a thing where it's like if you have Pokopia save data on your Switch, you get access to Mosslax or Smearguru
Yeah,
or any one of them basically, and it gives you a quest like the Blood Moon Ursaluna quest. And I was also going to say after that, can you imagine like if they make this kind of more of a thing, like individual unique form Pokemon, and they take like 5 or 10 of them, like, and they put them in the game, and it's like 5 or 10 Blood Moon Ursalunas.
Yeah.
Where there's a quest associated with each one of them, and they're this special Pokemon that you have to go find.
Yeah.
That would be so good.
No, I love this. I was actually along the lines of that. I was talking with my buddy AJ on his podcast about we were just talking about like what would make Gen 10 Winds and Waves, like what would make that game actually feel substantive, like what would make it feel maybe in line with other acclaimed like RPGs and fantasy games. And I think one of the things that I was bringing up was that like you do a quest line and then you're rewarded with not just like a bunch of random items, but you're rewarded with like items or Pokemon in this case that are specific to that quest line. And I feel like Pokemon doesn't often do that because when they introduce something new, it basically becomes it's a new character. It's like literally a new thing for their IP. Like they can't just be making new things willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? But like I love this idea of a quest line. Like you do this quest line, and you're rewarded with something so specific. Like what the beauty of Blood Moon Ursaluna is that it feels one of a, like you feel like you witnessed like a piece of history. Like you got, you know what I'm saying? Like you're in the middle of this. It's so cool, dude. Yeah. It's so sick.
And they've kind of sort of, as far as the quests go, they've kind of done similar things in earlier games. Like there were a lot of like static encounters or like gift Pokemon that you had to do something to get. So like, with Snorlax, for instance, you had to have the Pokeflute to get it, and there was only 2 of them in Kanto that you could get. Or there's the Red Gyarados, you had to go through the Team Rocket.
Dude, you're right.
To be able to do that. Yeah. They've done that kind of thing before, and I think there definitely should be more of that, because I think the idea of doing something and getting a rare or unique Pokemon as the reward is so much fun. But then if you couple it with like, now we're going to give these Pokemon new unique forms, that's just like peak.
It's even cooler.
So peak.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's like a double plus to this. A plus for them on the business side, but a plus for first, it rewards anyone who already has Pokopia, was excited about the game, and then they see that Pokemon in the mainline games. It already kind of rewards you because you're like, all right, cool, I'm going to get to use this Pokemon that I saw in Pokopia. I loved it. But on the business aspect for Game Freak, this could have people like, oh, wait, what is that? How do you have it? Well, I had Pokopia. Might make people go back and play Pokopia and buy. Then they're selling extra copies on the back end. So it's kind of like a double win, which is really cool, especially if there's just like a situation where like there's not like big stat changes or no stat changes. It's just more like a cosmetic thing. So like if you don't like it, that's totally fine. You don't have to get it.
Yeah.
But obviously if you saw it in the Pokopia and you were playing it, you're like, dude, this is sick. Now I can play with Mossy Snorlax on my team and use this Pokemon when it, since it doesn't have a type change for that specific Pokemon, for example.
Oh my god!
And
it really,
I think that is exactly how they'll do this thing. I think just like you said, they don't have new types because it's like they don't want to give Pikachu a ghost type, for instance, and then that becomes like a meta breaking thing, and so it's like you have to buy Pokopia to get this Pokemon. I don't think they want to encourage that, and that's why they don't give them new types. I think it will be a cosmetic like Ash Cap Pikachu type of thing where it's just for fun, but that's also good marketing. And then I think in terms of these being like transferable, I think that Rotom is like the tease that this is going to happen, and it's like the bridge between the two that kind of like puts it all together. So and if that actually happens, it's like we've talked about Pokopia, like it's got the perfect combination of like gameplay, it's Animal Crossing, it's Pokemon, it's got like this lore stuff that's really cool. Now if you add in this, like you can use these forms in Winds and Waves, it's like now it's got the marketing angle going for it too, and this is like the perfect game at that point. Like it is there's a lot of potential.
I do love that it is connected to like I really do like that it's connected to like it's just part of like the greater universe, like the greater universe of Pokemon, you know? Like Pokopia is coming out. I do think a lot of people were disappointed that Winds and Waves is initially was gonna, you know, it's coming out in 2027, but like I think they're really trying to say like go play this game. Like listen, if you like Pokemon, you're gonna like this. And then the new Pokemon is like the bait to get us to play it, but I think we're gonna enjoy it. I think they weren't fooling around, and they were like, let's put actually new Pokemon in this, dude. And they used to do that back in the day. I feel like in the old GameCube and like Wii games, they would put new Pokemon in those games, which would kind of incentivize you to pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think
like with go for it.
I was gonna say like plus I think too with like this year's already looking pretty stacked. Like not even including Winds Away, we just had Fire Red, Leaf Green. So a lot of the newer Pokemon people who like they've only played the newer games are going back. They're struggling with Fire Red, Leaf Green, which is funny. And then you have Pokopia for those who kind of want to get into like a little bit of a different genre of the franchise they enjoy. And then obviously the competitive aspect comes out soon with Champions, right? But it lets us sit with some of these Pokemon, these designs, these elements for a while. Like them, enjoy them, kind of dissect them a bit, and then we're like, oh snap, we see them in Winds and Wave, and you kind of build even more excitement because you see these very now familiar Pokemon that you're really excited about. So honestly, smart on their part.
I think this would make me so happy. Like, I don't know, you know, Game Freak also gets a lot of flack about, you know, like, oh, you have good. I don't know. My buddy AJ is always saying this. Like, he's like, listen, Game Freak's got good ideas, but they need to work with other companies to produce like quality games. And I don't know. Like, I guess I'd be happy if this is indicative of like the next, like literally the next generation, then like the next 5 years, right? If Winds and Waves took 5 years is going to take 5 years to actually release, like we could be in that Generation 10 period for another 5 years. And if this is indicative of what we're going to see, where like Game Freak is basically the nucleus of whatever these fun ideas are, but then they outsource to these other teams, and then in each of these spin-off games they inject like new Pokemon, like I love that. That sounds like a blast. I don't know, like I honestly would care about Snap more if Game Freak was attached to it and then there was like new Pokemon or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I do think that, I don't know, I think that it's like it's Game Freak that I care about, you know?
Yeah, it's a way to tie in more versus just being a game to fill the void until here's something just to get you by until we get to the next generation. Like it has something that's a little more connected.
Totally, man. The reason why I feel like I don't like ROM hacks that much is because I'm like I will play ROM hacks, but like I don't care about them because I'm not in it for the challenge. I'm like in it for the world, you know? Yeah. And if the world is disconnected and doesn't account for the world that is in my mind, like it just feels removed from the whole experience, you know? Yeah. It should, I'm just looking at this concept art a little bit differently.
Really like the design of Professor Tangrowth. There's something about the gradient also is really nice. Now it kind of makes me wish that regular Tangrowth had that kind of same kind of like white gradient in there.
It's nice, dude. Really, dude, the man his hair's graying. He's getting older.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it adds a lot to his character because it's like he's gone from, because I think in the game, there is a mention of when he was a Tangela. And so it's kind of like environmental storytelling where it's like this Tangela has gone from a Tangrowth and now he's like an old Tangrowth that has just like watched this world like turn to dust. And now it's like he's been in this just like wasteland for so long until you come by and like talk to him. So it makes it like just that subtle color change instantly makes him like way more interesting of a character because you start kind of putting the pieces together in your head. So it's just there's just so much charm going for every bit of this game. So
I love it, man.
I'm excited to get into it.
They're making me love Tangrowth. Shiny Lamb says, can't believe Dusty hasn't mentioned sound type yet. And I did. I talked about it earlier. Didn't I talk about it earlier? Yeah, dude. We're not getting the sound type. We're not getting the sound type. It's all good. It's fine.
I was never really a huge believer that sound type would happen, but I feel like I'll concede it if we get a new Rotom, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
no, this was the one opportunity.
A new Rotom form. Well, it was an opportunity. I'll give you that. But like a Rotom form is a big deal. So
yeah,
I think that's really cool. And also, it's like if they're giving Rotom a new form,
what else?
That's just like the tip of the iceberg for what other Pokemon could get stuff. So
some that are very long overdue for new forms.
Yeah. Munching Munchlax. Shout out to you, man. They've been a member for 12 months, and they say, love the streams. Hear me out. If there is a new evolution, they should show it soon. Fans might go crazy, and Switch 2 sales may go up. I guess that's a super fun idea. I definitely think it's like a lot of these ideas I championed even on weird generations and like even on weird games, but like it is Gen 10. And this is like, I mean, I feel like this is the reset. There are certain games where we get like soft reboots.
It is a situation of like, dude, it's Gen 10. If there's a time to do it, it's now. It's this generation, this game. And to me, the obvious choice on the business side, I'm dropping 2 new evolutions, bare minimum, right? And that would just be me. But I think we're long overdue. It's people have been wanting one for so long. There's so many types that we can dive into. Winds and waves. One should be flying, obviously, in my opinion. The other one, I don't care what type it is. But
I think spoiled it because it's already there.
Flying
water would have been perfect.
I know, dude. The flying type would be sick. I'm secretly in love with it now.
Yeah, I have some thoughts that I'm gonna keep close to the chest because I think I'm gonna make a video talking about this. But
okay.
I do think outside of just like the copium side of it, I think there's a legit shot that this happens. So I would not like, I want it to happen, but at the same time, like I would not be surprised. Like I think there's legit, like the stars are kind of aligning for something to happen. So
I could see it. That would be a super hype trailer, but like that would just have people, oh my god, like people would start losing their minds. And now they're like, then all the videos that we get all the videos of evolutions. It'd be cool.
And it's like if there is a real chance with this game because it's like it already looks pretty awesome. It's got like the visuals look great. It looks just like, I know it's not like your best looking game ever, but it looks legitimately good. And then it's got like your open world aspect going for it, which is a lot of fun. The fact that it's a new generation, that's a lot of fun. It looks like there's a lot of cool features. So it's like there is a lot of momentum already. And then it's like if you do things like bring new evolutions into the game, like new evolutions by themselves get you another couple million sales. Like that is the power.
You think
that some of
probably
stuff, 100%. You hear
we had
like,
Let's Go Eevee Pikachu, so like it's
that's true. That's true.
If they do a push and it's like new trailer with the evolutions and they do some special things with it, like I no doubt that gets 1 million to like 2 million sales just because of that. That is the power. That is the power of Eevee.
The last time we got a new evolution, it's always the first game the first Pokemon game on a new console. So it's like the DS We right. We
Right.
got the Sinnoh
Yeah.
evolutions, and then
X,
yeah,
Y,
and then X and Y on the 3DS.
3DS.
We didn't get anything on the Switch, but the first game on the Switch was Eevee was the mascot.
and then the
Well,
next mainline game we got G Max Eevee.
Bro, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah,
That's
right.
so true. Oh, I'm convinced. That's actually really good. It's happening.
This is
Yeah.
the chance.
It's
It
happening.
needs to
And it's
happen.
like if they just, and there's more than just like Eevee out there that can like have that kind of like momentum building power, like something like Rotom, for instance.
Yeah.
It's not as big as Eevee, obviously, but it's like there's things like that they can do where it's like, oh, we need to boost cells. Well, let's give Rotom a new form. Let's give Eevee a new form. Let's do these unique individual Pokemon.
Yeah.
Let's like they can really like appeal to the fans if they want to and really make this special, and I really hope they do that because like I said, the game's already looking great, and stuff like that would just it would just push it to a new level.
I think it's hype. I don't even think it's like a marketing thing. I just think it's like there's certain things in Pokemon games that have like a certain cachet that like when they get, touched on, it's like it's a bit like I guess it contributes to a larger feeling or a more substantial feeling game or generation. At least in my mind. I guess I don't really know if that translates. Like I'm pushing back because I don't know if it translates necessarily to the casual fan, but I do think a new evolution, I guess, is one of those like massive things. New starters, that's one, right? New game on a new console, I feel like that's something. The open world was like kind of a big thing. I feel like that got people in. But yeah, I guess a new evolution does make sense. Dude, the Rotom thing is crazy. They've gone back to this before. They like when they gave us new Reggies, it kind of felt like that. I was like, oh, you remembered the Reggies. Now you're adding to that. It's not an evolutionary line, but it's a grouping. Right. Enamorous felt kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it's stuff that just expands the world basically. So it's like giving a new member to a legendary group or giving this Pokemon a new evolution.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. It's one of the coolest things that they do because it's like for the fans that were maybe fans back in the day, but they're not fans now. Like they're still going to appreciate a new evolution. That's going to be awesome for them. Yeah. But then hardcore fans are just going to be like new evolution, and they're going to like we're going to lose our minds. So it's the perfect. It's the perfect sweet spot in terms of like adding appeal to the game. So I hope they do stuff like that.
It's smart. It's a smart play.
So crazy, dude. It's so crazy. Let's see. I guess I did want. What is it?
That should just be Smeargle shiny, dude. By the way,
you think
it's just so perfect. Like
that's yeah.
But he's got a little mustache. He's got a little mustache.
I love it. That's so.
It's so good. It makes I guess that's the question. Like, will these new what are we calling them? These new individual forms? I'll call them individual forms. That sounds. It's not really that good for a title, but I like that. Like, what are these new individual forms going to, like, will they have new stats, right? Will they have a new stat spread? We already know most of them do not have new types, but they can have a new type. The Blood Moon Ursaluna has, like, a slightly different stat spread, but it has the same type. I think, I guess it probably is just, like, case by case, because then you also have Pokemon like, Like Eternal Flower Floette I actually think functions as a legendary form of Floette because it gets such a power boost. It gets it gets over like 100 stat points. So that's kind of a weird case, but yeah, a lot of these other Pokemon are just kind of like truly cosmetic. Something happened to them and it's kind of a cosmetic change. But Ash Greninja is a mega, right? Like
the stats are very close. Like or actually I think they're 20 more, if I'm right, something like that.
Let's pull
They're
it
like
up.
really close for some reason.
Let's see. No, it's Mega Greninja. Oh, there's Mega Greninja and then there's Ash Greninja. Okay, yeah, it's 10-point difference.
Yeah.
So Ash Greninja increases stats by 110. That's from base Greninja. That's insane.
Crazy.
That's insane.
So that's.
I think they can kind of go either way with like stat changes.
Yeah.
Because if they do something like an Ash Greninja, where it gets a mega sized boost, obviously that's great. But if you give me something like Stereo Rotom and the stats are the same, but it's a new form of Rotom, like I'm gonna be happy with that too. So
Yeah.
It's hard to mess something like this up. It's just a good idea.
It's a banger all around. I'm excited. It leaves a lot on the table for them to really kind of dive into and give us for this new big open world, and for Winds and Waves is going to be interesting. Pokopia kind of giving us the breadcrumb for what's to come. I love it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then there's like the cloned Pokemon. I'm on Bulbapedia right now. Like there's all these different types of variants. Valencia Pokemon.
Oh yeah, the pink Pokemon.
So weird. There's some weird ones from like the games. Arbok has all these different forms, but that's not those are all biological, it feels. Shelder is also like a direct change. Like these are Kangaskhan. Like yeah, like that like the way I'm imagining these, it really is like it's a specific Pokemon that has a bond with a human or another Pokemon or has an experience. Like there's an image right here from the anime of a Kangaskhan without its child. And I feel like that would like that's a good example, right? Of
right off the top of my head, I can think of a scenario. We get this Kangaskhan whose child was taken away from it for some reason. So now instead of a normal type, it's a fighting dark type. Yeah. And it's like this super angry mom that is mad that its child was taken. Like you could cook up like stories like that for every single Pokemon.
Yeah.
The
absolutely.
The chat was saying the purple Kecleon, and it is right here. There's all these different Kecleon forms. There's a blue Kecleon, and growing up, like I guess I was introduced to Kecleon before Gen 3 happened, and I thought these were like shiny variants. They're not, but like I guess I kind of like this. That might be a little bit different because the color variant of a Kecleon wouldn't be a change. It would be, I guess it could be, because then you have like Pokemon like Mosslax where it does kind of change like whatever's its exterior. Dude, that's the new form we get, a Burmy. We get Burmy with no cloak Burmy is what we get.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh my god. I think I kind of made a discovery right here. Oh, dude, the Crystal Onyx could be one of these.
Yeah, that's one that people wanted.
Yeah.
That was a layup for Paldea and just never got it.
Dude,
but,
I know. But what if it come
I'm
back?
hoping for Toby's sake that it comes back, because every generation he's like begging for it.
Dude, Shadow Lugia is kind of one of these as well. With XD Gale of Darkness coming out, like Shadow Lugia is kind of one of these like individual forms where it's like, I believe, right? It's a legendary Pokemon that I think I guess I don't remember what the story is. It says it was corrupted by Cypher and its appearance changed. So that is kind of one of those. Okay.
The only difference is that it's not, like I said, it's not a Game Freak Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true.
The developers of XD made it, but it's like if we get more like games like this that Game Freak has an involvement in, then they could do whatever they want. So
I think I just made a discovery because we got right here the Ditto transformation. Something that and for listeners right now, we on Hidden Power we just put out a podcast this morning. It was this week's podcast all about Ditto, and I think we kind of talk about this, but now with this new information, I'm kind of putting this all together. Like Ditto used to, like, when Ditto is created and introduced, the whole thing was that it could 100% turn into whatever it's looking at or whatever Pokemon it's looking at. And it wasn't until Duplica's Ditto from the anime, Duplica's Ditto had a thing where it wasn't able to change its eyes. And then that became kind of the default of I guess how the company is able to showcase what Ditto is turning into. Like in order to showcase that like a Ditto has become another Pokemon, they just like won't change the eyes, and it's cute and I like it. But you know what I'm realizing? I actually think let me go back here. Ditto is one of these characters that can either turn into the male. We have male form, or what is this? Male human form or female human form Ditto. Ditto is literally one of these Pokemon that has changed. Ditto changed because of its experience with its trainer. I haven't played Pokopia. I don't know where the trainer is off to, but Ditto is literally it's changing its biology to look like its trainer, and that's who we play at. So we're literally in Pokopia playing as one of these special Ditto forms. You know, that's what I think.
That's so funny, dude.
Because it's not just Ditto. Like Ditto, what we've also noticed is like this Ditto, no matter what it turns into, it has these like droopy, like design aspects. You can see it in the hair, with the human character. When it turns into Lapras, its shell kind of turns a little droopy. Same thing with the Dragonite. Its lines kind of droop. So like that's the indicator for this. Like I don't know. I just think that's cool. Like this Ditto, the main character of Pokopia, is one of these individual forms that we play as that then can evolve into all these or transform into all these things. That's so much fun.
Yeah, that's way fun. I also just thought of something that's it's kind of a side tangent, but there's obviously the theory that Ditto is a failed clone of Mew.
Yeah.
And with Mewtwo, it talks about it in the manga how it's like half Pokemon, half Mew DNA, and then it's got some human DNA in there too.
Yeah.
So like this kind of helps to solidify that, because if Ditto can transform it into a human, then it must have some human DNA in there too.
Yeah, that's cool
to lean on. So
no, I love that, man.
I could see an event, or maybe it's a part of the story. Again, don't know anything about Pokopia's story.
Yeah,
this seems like a perfect game to put Mewtwo in. Just for sure. Like, whether it's like an event later, which I already know I think they rolled out their first event or something. Someone told me. But like even if it's an event later, or if it's just a part of the story, that Pokemon is just too fitting of this game.
And I've seen some legendaries that I'm surprised are in the game. Like Raikou is one I know is in there.
Sure.
I've heard Volcanion is in the game. Like
I might have seen that. Okay.
Like what? So yeah, Mewtwo is a layup. It's definitely one. And I could also, if it's not in the main game, I can 100% see it as like an event or a DLC or something that maybe like wraps up the story. Like it's like whatever the story is, Mewtwo holds the secret to something.
Yeah.
And then they drop that in a DLC or an update.
Or even for OG fans, it just kind of like has like a little call back to like the first Pokemon movie. Even something like that, I would take. That'd be pretty cool too.
That would be sick, dude. Like cloned Mewtwo, maybe.
Yeah. Or like he just has like his own like.
Well, I guess it is a clone, but yeah,
same like clone Pokemon.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
And that's what's crazy. These are all Game Freak like things. So, and immediately like Pokopia comes out, and there's already an event introducing new Pokemon into the game. There is no doubt in my mind that they could continue. Like I think Pokopia is gonna last like. I think it's going to be like maintained for maybe like the next 2 years at least. Just like other games like Animal Crossing, where they introduce new characters, not just Pokemon, but like in Animal Crossing, they'll introduce new characters like this, right? Because all these forms are characters. They're like variants of whatever the Pokemon is. But so like I think what we could see over the next 2 years is like more and more of these being announced. And then eventually they'll come over to Go, but they'll also come over to Champions, and they possibly, and they could also, in this case, come over to Winds and Waves, be available in Winds and Waves, which is pretty sick.
I think going back to what we were talking about earlier, I think part of the reason why they decided to go with 2027 for Winds and Waves, I think maybe is not directly because of Pokopia, but I think it could have given them the confidence to do so, because they're like, this game is sick and we want it to like actually have time to like let it do its thing. And we know that it will hold people over. Like they'll be eaten. They'll have Fire Red, they'll have Pokopia, like they'll be fine. So that's probably I could see that being I could see that being something that they gave them the confidence to push Winds and Waves back a little bit.
Yeah, maybe, man, maybe. Dude, it's just interesting. I haven't even compared. I think I saw that Snorlax was like over 7 feet compared to like normal Snorlax, or like the mossy form is over 7 feet, where base Snorlax is 6 foot something. So like
Oh wow.
they do get different, like it's I guess these Pokemon can get bigger or whatever. Dude, I love this idea. And they also introduced convergent Pokemon in Generation 9, and then I feel like they did nothing. They did. It's not that they didn't do anything, but like
They could have done more.
yeah,
They
that's
could've
something that I think we're going to see in Gen 10. Yeah. And also,
Well-
they barely gave us any regional forms. I think in Gen 10, we're going to
Gen-
see a whole slew of different things.
Gen 9 was really messy with that stuff because I think what ended up happening was they introduced the Paradox Pokemon, which kind of are like regional forms essentially.
Sure.
In
So I
themselves,
think
yeah.
that is why they didn't have as many regional forms. And then also they introduced the convergent forms. So it's kind of like they had 3 different ideas that were basically the same thing that they kind of had to balance out.
Yeah.
So it kind of ended up a little messy, but obviously we will not have Paradox forms in Gen 10, and this region is very much like Alola in the fact that it's tropical, like the environment is a big focus, like
Mhm.
that just screams regional forms. So I think those will make a comeback. I think it's very possible we could see some convergence as well.
Yeah, there's no reason. They could just
Yeah.
pop those in. And I don't mind them being kind of like sparse. Like,
Yeah,
I
those
think
will
the
have to
ones
be
we
as
got were
prominent.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot of potential too. Like we obviously only got like 3 or 4 or something like that. Like not too many.
Yeah.
But there are ideas that I've seen from fans. That
Yeah.
are like this is perfect. Like this is awesome.
Yeah.
And so I think if they just do, the key thing is that they do take up a Pokedex slot because they're a new Pokemon. So
Yeah.
I think if they just do like 2 or 3, like
That's fine.
totally,
Yeah.
That's fine.
totally fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be crazy. Just enough.
Yeah. If you overdo it, I feel like, yeah. No, I got faith, man. I'm feeling really good. I really am feeling good. I guess there was a couple more things I wanted to bring up, and then we can talk about Winds and Waves, and maybe Fire Red and Leaf Green. I don't know. I've been enjoying my time playing that game. Let's see. So yeah, you were talking about this. There are some legendary Pokemon in the game. I don't know what they do.
Oh.
I think they're just kind of like they're there. I maybe
Okay.
read.
I
Yeah.
think I saw
Dude.
a clip of the Ho-Oh thing. I forgot who tweeted out, but it was like,
Yeah.
I think it drops a feather, like a
Yeah.
rainbow feather.
But like, what does that do?
Dude, this is the anime. I love it. This little anime tie-in.
No.
This-
Oh, you're right.
that's
Yeah, you're
cool.
right.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
can't speak to this because I'm just learning this now. But like, even if they didn't, I mean, if they did nothing, that would be disappointing. But the fact that they're there just roaming around and you can look up in the sky and like, yo, that's Ho-Oh. Like that is so much fun.
That is
That
fun.
is so cool. And I don't doubt that they're going to be part of some event or something. Like,
Later, yeah.
so like, that is just so cool. Like this game is just
Yeah.
like dripping with
It
charm.
it
It's-
definitely
it's
the way they're
dripping.
setting it up, like especially when you think of games like Animal Crossing or other games in these categories, it definitely is setting itself up for a game for the years to come. Like they can do so many events.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, if you can update Masters Cafe, there's no excuse this game does not get updates.
But this is like what we've wanted, though. Like, I feel like,
That
again,
game's been going for 5 years.
yeah. But I feel like because those games are, I don't know, I know people enjoy these games. I got like a whole year and change out of playing Pokemon Sleep. People still love Pokemon Go. A lot of these games are super fun for different reasons. So I don't want to like poo-poo on any of these, on any of these games. But they do, I feel like because they are mobile games, they are built to be transactional in a way that is just, I guess, not my preference. And I do like this idea of Game Freak getting their grubby tentacles up in all these different just like Switch 2 games, Game Freak is tied to Champions. It's tied to Winds and Waves. It's now tied to Pokopia. Maybe there's another one down the line. But all of these games have, to me, I envision all of these games having one thing in common, which is that they're going to last 5 years before the next generation, right? Like it's literally going to be like, think about Smash Brothers, that comes out. It's the definitive game. It's updated throughout the years. Think about Mario Kart. Same thing. You buy it. It's updated over the years. People play it for a decade. Animal Crossing is the same thing. That's what these games are. And I feel like they've been treating Pokemon games, Pokemon games have kind of been positioned like just any other game where it's, it's like you pick it up, you play it, you put it, and I feel like they've always wanted Pokemon to be like a living game, but it has just never had the substance to actually do that. It's like they'll do some like events here and there, but it's like, how engaging is this really?
Like, I gotta think back. When's the last time I did a Terrastal event?
Literally, I didn't even get the last Typhlosion event, and if it's still up, I'll get it. But I haven't opened Scarlet and Violet in so long.
I ain't gonna lie though. Going back, and if you're playing like ZA, then you go back and play Scarlet and Violet. It's rough.
Yeah,
God, it's a hard game to like get back into.
It's crazy.
I played a little bit of Scarlet and Violet when the Switch 2 dropped because I wanted to check out the 60 FPS, and it was smooth. So I've kind of been thinking like it would be kind of interesting to just play that game like from scratch, start a new file with the 60 FPS and see how it plays.
So
I did that.
It felt nice.
I did as well. I did it, and you finally used Spaghetti till that time around. I actually liked the Pokemon more than I thought. That was crazy.
Okay.
It was a fun playthrough. Actually, it was definitely a lot more enjoyable. For one, since I already knew where everything was, but it was very smooth and a lot more functioning. But then I obviously when ZA came out, I played ZA. I went back to do something in Scarlet and Violet, and I was like, dude, I don't want to touch this game. I don't want to touch this game. Like after having real time battles and you notice a couple more things on some of the textures in Scarlet and Violet, you're like, it's rough. It's a little rough here and there, but mainly was the gameplay aspect because like ZA, you have to be a little bit more kind of in tune versus like just like the standard Pokemon experience. So,
dude, seeing it side by side with waves, it's insane. So it's insane. It's insane.
It's got me so excited though because like in my little experience with the Scarlet and Violet Switch 2 version, it felt smooth, it felt nice. And then in ZA, like that was a big thing that it felt really clean, everything felt nice. Obviously the battling, we don't know if that's going to be like that in Winds and Waves, but it was a lot of fun. And now we get to see how Winds and Waves looks, which is just like a step above anything we've seen before, probably 2 steps to be honest. And now it's like it's reasonable to assume, considering we got Scarlet and Violet and ZA, that Winds and Waves will also have 60 FPS and have that smoothness. And so now I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, we got the graphics, we got the frame rate, and we got it in a new generation with totally brand new Pokemon. Like that's a recipe for like a good experience in my opinion. Because like with ZA,
it's a new console too, man.
You've got exactly. Like all of these other like Scarlet and Violet, it had the new generation, but it had the bugs and the poor performance. ZA, it had the good performance, but it was a mid-gen game, so it was like it's limited. It's not retreading. It was retreading old ground basically.
And it's not supposed to have like a massive post game, right? Like you're not supposed to actually play ZA. I mean, people do it, but like you're not actually. It's not built to actually play for like 150, 200 hours. Obviously, people do that, but like, you can only do that if you're shiny hunting or something,
Yeah, and then ZA, I mean, Winds and Waves, it's got both. It's got what looks to be the good graphics and presumably the performance, and it's got the new generation, new region, new Pokemon factors. So I think we're finally like, it took a minute, but we're finally hitting this like full circle. It's like, we had to go through it a little. Where it's gonna pay off. I feel like it's gonna pay off.
For real. Shout out to Jalapeno in the chat. I saw that you're new. I think you said you're new to the channel. So shout out to you. I bought a jalapeno the other day. I'm gonna be cooking with it at some point this week.
They're good.
Yeah, they're good. Okay. So the last real quick, and then I would like to just jump in and start talking about Winds and Waves. But one of the things that I saw, where is it? There was a blurb, and again, I'm not considering any of this a spoiler. I don't know how, careful people are being, but there is this little blurb. Again, I don't even know what the context is. We put it up on our Twitter page. It says, Shellos changes its color and appearance based on diet and the environment it lives in. we are researching day and night in an attempt to create a, I don't know what this means. A heretofore unknown yellow Shellos.
Ooh.
And I guess that kind of reads like a scientific log, kind of akin to what you see like in the, what is it? Like not the burned tower, but the lab on Cinnabar.
The Pokemon Mansion?
Yeah, the Pokemon Mansion. Yeah. It kind of reads like that, where it's like, it's like the scientific journal entries like depicting the creation of Mewtwo and how it escaped or whatever. Right? Like this is kind of how it reads. Okay. Which is weird. I'm like, okay, well, what are they doing with Shellos? And also, is that going to be one of these forms for Pokopia, or is that going to be something we see in Generation 10?
I mean, maybe it pops up. Maybe it pops up in Pokopia, but it is book it. It's a Gen 10 thing.
Oh, let's
because
go, dude.
You do not mention yellow Shellos and then do nothing with it. Like that, it's not a thing
that's just kind of rude.
Yeah, like you don't mention a new form of a Pokemon scene and then like never speak of it again. So
yeah, I could see if it's something that's not immediately in the game, then it's tied to some event later on that's coming out in the future, and then Lord and behold, it's a new evolution or something or something different for Winds and Waves.
Yeah, and
it is interesting. It is interesting that they say they're trying to create it versus it being like natural. So that could kind of play into what it is. Maybe it is a little official, or maybe it's like, maybe that's going to speak to what we see in Gen 10 because we know the environment is a big deal. So maybe there could be some Pokemon like that where it's like they didn't like build it in a lab, but they like took some Shellos from the Sinnoh region, they brought them to this region, and then over time it developed into this new form because they like planted it there basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
And I wonder if it's gonna in any way, like if we do end up with a new Shellos form, I wonder if it could call back to the beta form of Shellos. Originally, its head was a lot more. I think it had like basically 5 blunt, just kind of like protrusions sticking out of its head versus it's like it kind of looks like it has like horns nowadays. And the design was slightly different. But they could twist it. They could take some design elements of this, apply it to a new design, make it yellow, and that's always just fun when there's like little references like that, right?
Yeah, could happen. I think they're talking about in this scope. This should be in the game.
And look at it. This is like what's getting me so excited. Like we are not even. We're a week out from the reveal of Gen 10, and we've already got a Rotom form that is very possibly coming, and a Shellos form that is very possibly coming.
They should, 100%, dude.
They're not messing around. They are not messing around.
Not at all, dude. Subscribe to Hidden Power because we're going to be literally covering this over the next year until Generation 10 comes out. So this is the #1 place for Pokemon discussion. Let's see. So I thought that Shellos was pretty cool. And then there was one more blurb. Oh yeah, it was with, where is it? It was with Smearguru, in its dex entry. Dude, it is so weird that Pikachu is not a ghost type. That is so weird to me. This is not what I was gonna say, but it says it literally became unable to generate electricity, but it's still an electric type. I guess because but like it can't generate electricity. So you think it would become a normal?
True.
I don't think they want to mess with Pikachu, and I feel like if they're gonna bring these over, it goes back and like they don't want to put Pokemon with like crazy new types and stuff like behind a paywall per se of like you have to buy this game to get it. So
they've done it before, but I know what you're saying. I think
they want to be careful about how they do that.
So all right, quick conversation, but I wanted to bring this up because Hoops is on the show. And honestly, this is also hilarious because Infamous is on the show, and you'll know what I'm setting up right now. Okay, there was a rumor last week, potentially. So let me set the scene. The Terra League came out for the last 6 months. We've all been assuming that the roadmap, the internal Game Freak roadmap that came out during the Terra League, was indicative of like what we're gonna see. from Game Freak, straight up, no questions. And some things have already started to change from that. There's no inclusion of any sort of ports. Winds and Waves is already coming out in 2017. And then there were some rumors bubbling online suggesting that maybe the next game that comes out after Winds and Waves is not a Legends Galar game. And people are speculating, is this going to be a Johto Legends game? Which would be sick, because that was, the story goes that we were supposed to get a Legends Johto game, and that was scrapped, and instead we got ZA. So then I saw this Smear Guru, this Decorator Form Smeargle Dex entry from Pokopia, and in it, it says it hopes to paint the landscape of its birthplace someday. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a Smear Guru. Maybe I'm just a wistful artist hoping to see the landscape of Johto one day. But Smeargle's from the Johto region. I don't know, man. The fact that they said its birthplace, which would be Johto, and someday, it just feels like they're teasing us, man. Feels like they're teasing us. Or maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's hard to say. I mean, maybe. I guess I'm like infamously known for not liking Gen 2.
Yeah. I forgot about that, truthfully, until I started talking.
Ban this man. Ban him.
But
let's get the gloves up.
I will praise Legends games on. They definitely have the ability to change perspective. So maybe something like a Legends Johto game could make me more of a Johto fan.
Yeah.
I'd be open to it just to see like what it could offer, what it could do different, especially with a game like that. How different would it be from like Legends Arceus if we're kind of close touching that time period, far away from that time period, stuff like that. Because obviously ZA, everyone immediately thought, oh, this game's in the past, and we're present day. Blew our minds when we got the reveal. So it would be pretty interesting to kind of see how they kind of interact with it. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Just how soon? I have no idea, but it's possible. Anything's possible with Pokemon. So,
what do you think, Hoops? Am I coping?
I think you're coping like 30%.
Ooh, all right. I'll take it. That means there's a chance.
I see what you're saying. Sometimes it can just be flavor text, so this is not
for sure
one that I'm like yes, definitely. But also it does kind of have that teasy kind of writing to it. To where, I could see it. And also it maybe is not even just pertaining to like a Legends Johto.
Sure.
Maybe it's pertaining to some Pokopia update where we go to a different place that's Johto. Like,
oh, dude, that's good.
I can see something like that. So,
that's fun.
Because whether it's in this game or whether it's a new Pokopia game, like this is very likely to spawn a series. This is not going to be this is not going to be a one and done. So I feel like they might be leaving some doors open for themselves to like explore things in case that happens. I'm not like expecting it from this Dex entry per se, but I feel like it leaves a door open. So
that's, dude, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Like I was only imagining like new characters could be added, but like, and again, there's a whole story here to Pokopia that I haven't even played yet. That is fun. The idea of dude, I gotta download this game. I want to see the world. I want to see how big the world is. But like, that would be kind of fun if this was just like, you know what's funny? This is our Switch 2 Kanto remake. This is what it is.
I saw someone mention on Twitter that this is like the de facto Legends Kanto, and I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it really is. Because we're playing in Kanto. All right.
Yeah.
That's nuts, dude. Is this the Legends Kanto game? Because it's like it's a Kanto game in a different. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil. I saw some stuff. I don't want to start spoiling stuff. I saw some stuff.
If you tell me that like legitimate, maybe not legitimately. This is a bit of a stretch, but like if you tell me at the end of the game that the result of all of this is because Mewtwo succeeded and he destroyed civilization. I would almost take that over an actual Legends Kanto.
That's crazy,
that
dude.
Would
that would be good.
Peak on peak. Like that would be so good.
And I think it's fitting too because you kind of get like the double whammy of Kanto, especially with like Fire Red Leaf Green coming out. So you kind of have the kind of introspective that kind of comes into, hey, we dropped it on the Switch 2 era, and then you kind of get this post-apocalyptic, this era of Kanto as well. So I think that's like it's like a combination of these like old school, but can be obviously immersed for the newer players, and then you have this new game for everyone that's all Kanto tied in, and then there you go.
I just had a thought with that. Like, you're right on the money. And I think that's also what they could be doing next year with Winds and Waves, because we heard rumblings that like the thing that's running the Fire Red Leaf Green ports can also run Ruby Sapphire and Emerald. And Winds and Waves is like Hoenn reimagined, basically. So I feel like next year on Pokemon Day they will drop Ruby Sapphire and Emerald, and then Winds and Waves will come whenever it comes later on.
Yeah, I could see that.
Bro, I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped. It's funny that like we're not even talking about the game. We're just talking about like the world building that they would basically be canonized. Like all these new things could just be like part of the story now, So much fun, man. All right, let's talk about we do have a super chat here by Ace Titanium. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. They say oh damn. No ad blockers. Sorry. 1 second. Let's see. So Johto's not happening. But Ace Titanium says it should be noted that Zeraora can't generate electricity either, but he's still electric. I didn't know that. Is that in the Dex entry?
That's interesting.
Let's look it up. Zera.
I think even so, with like the new Pikachu, I think it'd just be cool to see, especially with that new updated model they have in Winds and Waves. Like just seeing it with that new model and that coloring and everything, that would just be, regardless if we can do a Thunderbolt or not. I care less. It just looks cool.
That it also adds like a wrinkle into that discussion of whether or not it will come over, because there's Pokemon we've said feel likely, like Rotom or Moslax, but if Pikachu can't generate electricity but it's still an electric type, like you can't realistically give it a Thunder Shock in Winds and Waves, because then that like breaks the lore. So maybe some of them don't quite work as well as others. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out, because some of them work and some of them feel kind of iffy.
I also I totally missed this. DJ Isaac, thank you. They sent a super chat a little while ago. I missed this. They said, hoping for traversing with many Pokemon this time. And I do, I'm pretty, I really am hopeful that we're going to be receiving or we're going to be able to like explore this world in a lot of different ways. I think the trailer has made it very clear to me. Also, the titles are called Winds and Waves, that we're like, they've been focusing on the fact that we can go underwater, but I think they're saving a reveal of being able to travel in the air for like 6 to 8 months from now when they want to, or maybe even when the game comes out. Like, I think we're going to be able to travel the sky, the sea, the land. We've seen that we can go into all these different biomes. And I think we can only do that. Like in a Pokemon game, it is through, like, our power comes from our Pokemon. So I think think that's definitely happening. DJ Isaac, what do you guys think?
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make a bit of a prediction here.
Oh, let's go.
So like, we've got the names of the games, Winds and Waves. We know diving. So yeah, it only makes sense to be able to go up into the winds as well and kind of do the same thing. But then it's like you think about it, and it's like, well, with diving, there's this whole other ecosystem. Pokemon are swimming everywhere. But with the sky, it's kind of like a blank slate. It's like, yeah, there'll be flying Pokemon up there, but like, what else could you really do?
Yeah.
I think there could be a chance where we get to actually like fly into like these special clouds or something like that, and they're like little like pocket areas, or like they're like maybe like a raid area, or it's like just some kind of thing that you can interact with that's maybe generated by the Winds legendary, or it's like,
yeah, bro, that's cool.
This is created by the legendary, so it gives you something to interact with in the sky and like a place to go, because like my first they're not going to put like islands in the sky like Tears of the Kingdom. That's not going to happen. But I also don't think they would just leave the sky blank when the whole theme of one of these games is winds. Like, it's a big focus. Yeah. So I feel like something like that could be a thing.
You have thoughts on that, Infamous?
I agree. I think for one, it's we kind of touched on it, right? You have underwater deep diving. The sky needs something. It's called winds for a reason. We can see as you watch the gameplay clips, like the clouds are constantly moving, right? They're not moving slowly. They're moving at a pretty decent pace. So like I feel like there is kind of like these like almost like skyscapes almost of like, opportunities to either interact with Pokemon or that keeps you in the air to interact with certain Pokemon. And I think it could just be more than just flying types. It could be like a psychic type that like levitate up there and it's just up there in the sky, right?
Yeah, that's true.
There's like little stuff they could also do with that would make a lot of sense. So
I want to look up.
I also think it would also be cool if you're not the only one up there, and it's like there are other trainers riding around up there that you could battle.
Yeah,
I kind of want to touch on that, right? Because I think coming off of the heels of Kalos, and Kalos was known for sky battles, right? I feel like that should also be possibly touched on as well, kind of revamped now that we can actually be in the sky. Because there was the one quest in ZA where you battle a trainer and he like does a whole like mock sky battle with you with just flying type Pokemon only. So maybe that also could be a fun callback where like you have like this like wingsuit, you and your flying Pokemon are in the air battling some other trainer up there or something. Yeah, that could also be pretty sick too.
No, I love that.
Or I know the anime, and I don't know if they would do this. It would be interesting too. The anime back in XY did like this like Pokeringer race where like it was like flying Pokemon race through the skies. That could be interesting if they do anything kind of mentioning the Synchro machine back from Scarlet and Violet too. So
yeah.
A couple different options there.
Dude, that's so true. Like you could just be chilling on the floor. Like what if you Synchro machine into your Pokemon and that's how you explore the sky and it has nothing to do right? So okay, I'm thinking about it. What I've been thinking about is like the HMs, right? And all right, the thought that I'm having, the Hoops, you were talking about how there could be like different obstacles or, just like gameplay things that we need to overcome in the sky. And I do think about the HMs and how like there are so many different HMs for obstacles in the water, right? We have surf just to go on the water. Like, and just for context, these HMs, right? An HM is like, it's like a specialized technique that your Pokemon in game, right, in world needs to like master. Like it's not just, I guess in a game anything can learn cut or whatever, right? But like actually no, anything can learn the move, but in order for the move to be effective, the Pokemon need to have like the skills or be recognized with like a gym badge or something. So okay, so these are all techniques. For water and for underwater, right? We have surf, we've got whirlpool, we've got waterfall, and we have dive. Those 4 HMs for overworld effects that are only dedicated for like water traversal. And for the, for I guess the sky, you've got fly, which is the ability to just like teleport. And then you do have defog if we're going to count that, which is kind of cool. So maybe up in the sky, it's like actually difficult to like see because of the clouds, and that would be something that they could work into this.
That kind of clears the path, within like a certain radius. I could see that, and I wonder too if like whirlpool can be used a couple of different ways. I could see it almost as like there's actual whirlpools just kind of throughout the sea, right? Maybe it takes you down, starts a raid or something of that nature. That could be pretty interesting in itself. Because I am kind of wondering and I worry just a little bit of how the dive system works in this game, right? Because obviously it's like we're going to dive in the water. We all know that. But is it a situation where I'm like, it's like Zelda, where I have a bar that I need to worry about because my guy's going to drown? Like, or is this a situation
stamina, dude. Like, I want that. I want that so bad.
Like, but then it is interesting because it's like, imagine you dove down, you're in the water, your bar's about to run out, shiny pops up.
Yeah,
what happens then?
Then you lose the shiny. I think Game Freak has proved that they don't mind, making it so shinies could disappear. No, I like that a lot, dude. I didn't even think about it, but imagine you're diving in Hoenn, and you're under, like, you have to use surf, and then you have to use dive, and then let's say you're in a cave in underwater, and let's say, like, we don't see this, but it would make sense that we would have to use flash in some capacity to, like, make it so we can actually see underwater, because underwater it's gonna be like pitch black, you know. So these are I'm just thinking about, like, different types of, like, techniques, like these are tools for puzzles, right? That's how I'm thinking about it. I feel like people think HMs are just, like, stupid, but it's like HMs are the puzzles, right? HMs are the things that make it rewarding to, like, traverse through the game and to get gym badges. Like, okay, I can open up new parts of the world, right? Like, I feel like it's pretty integral. So, like, I don't know, I'm thinking about this for the first time right now, and there's some cool ideas here. And then in the sky, I think something like an equivalent to Whirlpool would be kind of cool. Like, there could be whirlpools underwater that could, like, just mess you up if you don't have the TM or the HM.
Like Twister. Like a Twister.
Yeah, dude, like Twister.
Like that. One of those would be fun.
Hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, that sounds sick.
You just get hit by a hurricane, just flung across the map.
Yeah. But see, like, there could be thunderclouds up in the sky, right?
Ooh, that's true.
What I would really like to see is I would love for HMs to be brought back, but, like, not as moves, but as obstacles. So, like,
yes,
for cut, for instance, bring back the big trees and bushes that I have to cut down, but now instead of having to have cut, I just use a cutting move that one of my Pokemon has.
Yeah, so, I mean, kind of like what they did in ZA for, like, the boulders, right, and the stuff like that.
Right, but, like, expand it. So, like, for instance, if I go into a cave, it's a dark cave that I would need to use flash in, but now I can use, like, a fire type that glows or an electric type that can create electricity and light up the room. I think converting it to, like, it's kind of fitting, putting it on the environment instead of the moves that we have to use is the way to do it, because then you get, like, modern Pokemon games, they are convenient without the HMs, but you miss a lot of those things that HMs did bring, which was, like, new areas that you can explore that open up later in the game, which is super satisfying. So I think incorporating something like that would do a lot for the game, and it makes sense because, like we said, like, the environment and nature, like, that's a big thing with this game. So it feels like it matches, like, with the themes.
And Marav in the chat says, we don't need HMs, we need the ability to use moves out of battle, like in ZA. That is what you guys are saying. But I think I just want to emphasize that, like, when I'm saying HMs, it's like the function of just having some sort of relationship or like connection between your skills as a trainer, the Pokemon you choose to train, right? And then also what their unique abilities are and how that can influence the world that you're, like, traversing. Like, I think that's important.
I get what you're saying. So it definitely helps, like, just kind of build more of that kind of world experience. Because imagine, you're traveling with, let's say you have every pseudo or something, but you go to a cave that's dark, you don't have any Pokemon that can use Flash. Now you got to go back up, catch a Pokemon that's going to help you traverse that new environment and then explore a new section of the region and some new stuff. Maybe there's more stuff down there, but I think that's cool because it always ties back into the Pokemon and the world itself, right? Finding new ways to overcome. And maybe you end up having a favorite Pokemon because of that, which is always just a bonus.
That kind of stuff creates memories, because it's like, I might go into this cave or this whatever type dark area, and there might be a Slugma there that can help me out. Well, I maybe I didn't plan on catching Slugma, but now I have to, and now all of a sudden it's my best friend, and now Slugma's my favorite Pokemon because I had this adventure with it.
That's so true, because there's Pokemon that I feel like when I was, like, into competitive Gen 5, Gen 6, like, there's Pokemon that became my favorites just because I, like, figured out how to make it, like, a quirky set that would, like, do well, and I'm like, I love this thing because me and Sableye or Cofagrigus or Duskull with an Eviolite, like, whatever the random Pokemon was, like, I love it because I was able to Conch Elder. I was, like, able to figure out how to use it, and I love it. But, like, if this game can basically give us those moments removed from battle in the world, like, that's really what I want. I mean, like, listen, the battling in a Pokemon game is obviously, like, integral to Pokemon, right? But I'm like, I want the game to not just be like a VGC simulator. Now that we have champions, like make the fun and the challenge in the world like any other video game. You know, dude, I love the idea that the stamina that you talked about, because like maybe not the dark cave, but like it's like, okay, let's say you need 4 badges to normally progress in a certain way to like get to an island, but like maybe right out the gate, as soon as you get a Pokemon that surfs, like you could try to finesse your way to that island that has maybe a rare Pokemon that you're not really supposed to get to naturally, just because you're nice at the game, right? That's the kind of stuff that I think is like rewarding as a player.
And I think and it's still nice too, because the game will penalize you, right? Because the game does obviously have like the limits of like this Pokemon won't obey you, so you can go catch it.
Yeah.
But maybe that might be boosted up a little bit more, because like you caught a Pokemon that's level 55.
Yeah.
It's not gonna attack. It literally just won't do anything besides stand there.
Yeah.
So like I think that could obviously like that's your penalty. While you were cool enough, you were that guy, you went and got to the other island. But now your Pokemon won't listen to you, so now you got to grind up, kind of earn its respect with your badges, and then you kind of get that almost like Iris and her Dragonite back in the anime, kind of get you back those kind of feels to something like that.
No, I love that so much.
You could even and this is kind of what you're saying, but you could also incorporate it into these moves that you use. So like instead of restricting you being able to use Surf to a gym badge, well, like you can do it anytime, but if you don't have that badge that allows you to use Surf or like master it in this case, your Pokemon won't obey you like while you're surfing. So now it's like taking it from the battle aspect and bringing it into the world. So it's like you can do it, but your Lapras is going to be like wanting to turn around, and it's going to be just like trying to shake you off.
Yeah, like a horse.
It's not going to like it because you're not a master. Yeah, like a horse.
Yeah, dude, I love that.
It would be so cool. It would be so cool.
I love that.
Imagine
dude.
like it's trying to like constantly do a U-turn. Everyone thinks they got stick drift, but it's just they're the first one to turn around.
Yeah, it's the stick drift. I mean, that kind of is what it would be. I don't know, man. That sounds like, I don't know. I know that's like removed from like normal Pokemon play, but I'm like, I feel like these are the things that are missing. These are the things that like, for why people don't respect like modern Pokemon games. Like, I feel like I've been on one. I'm like, people used to respect Pokemon games because they were good. Like, I'm playing Fire Red right now, and I'm like, it's good. It's like still holds up. It's so good. And I'm like, all those limitations are intact, right? All the limitations that they like, in the, it's like in the next generation, we get the physical special split. There's, I don't know. There's so many limitations, but I'm like, it's still good. And I think it's because of some of those limitations, I'm not saying we need to go back exactly, but like, it's gotta evolve. Jen Renegade in the chat, sent 2 super chats. Thank you so much, buddy. They say, I think we're going to get Gen 3 ports sooner than that because it's a long time until Generation 10. I don't think they'll solely rely on Pokopia for revenue. I mean, we also got champions. Yo, Gen Renegade just dropped 5 gifted, bro. Thank you so much, man. Huge shout out to you, man. Yeah, I do want to talk about ports, but just on the this is also on our conversation. He sent another super chat and said, thanks for streaming later on my day off. I'm terrified of the underwater world. And then he says thalassophobia. Oh, is that like the fear of being underwater? Dude, I might have that. I really don't like the water at all.
Yo, so I went to Hawaii a couple years ago.
Oh, here we go. Story time.
And we did this night snorkeling thing where you can go find things under the water at night. And it was a lot of fun. But like as part of it, obviously you're swimming in the water at night. And there was this moment where like I was underwater looking at stuff, and then I came up and I just looked out into the ocean, and it was just black.
No, dude.
Nothing.
No.
And
that's like my nightmare.
Chill. We got this chill. It was kind of creepy.
Dude, is this you right here? Dude, that's no, dude, I can't do that.
Interesting.
I don't want to do that. This is so freaky. Yeah. I would just be that's crazy, dude. What an experience. It's kind of wild to see some of these Pokemon, or not Pokemon, animals in some of these images. And I'm like, I think that will be a thing. I think there's going to be some like night, like when you're diving at night, it's going to be dark out,
Like it's under like deep sea is very unexplored. There's a lot of things out there we don't know about, so there's a lot of potential for what they could do with that.
Let's see our fears in the
thought,
chat. I want to see everyone enter in the chat what your fears are.
Yes. I had a thought that since we can dive in this game, I want to see some deep sea Pokemon. Like give me like a goblin shark.
Yes.
Or like give me a new I specifically thought of lantern because it's an anglerfish.
Bro.
Like a variant or evolution that's like really like crazy looking. I think there's a good opportunity.
Some good
100%, dude. I gotta start cooking up a video. I haven't even put out a video on my main channel yet. Bro, yeah, dude, Relicanth is gotta be down there. Clamperl, dude, some new trait evolutions for Clamperl. We get Clamperl, but then it evolves into some different things, or maybe Huntail and Gorbis like get a new evolution.
Those Pokemon haven't been seen or touched in forever.
We gotta bring those back. But okay, there's some cool talking points right here. Gen Renegade, thank you for the support all week, but for all those gifted as well. I mean, that's great. Anyone who just got a gifted, join the Discord. We have a secret Discord for members only. Ton of people just got a free membership. You can get into the free Discord, but you can also get access to a whole extra podcast every single week. We put out an extra podcast called Secret Power, and guess what? You also unlock every episode of Secret Power that we've ever put out before. This week's episode, I mean, we've been putting out streams and podcasts every single day this week, but this week's Secret Power was actually a conversation. It was an outtake with Hoops, who is on the show right now, and we're just kind of debating, yapping, complaining, and celebrating Pokemon that are bipedal or starters that become bipedal, which was kind of fun. We got kind of heated, and I removed it from the episode just for time because I'm like this is so off topic. Like, what are we doing? But that is available now to channel members. So Gen Renegade said, what happens with the chase Pokemon like Sharpedo? So talking about the ocean and diving, talking about soaring in the sky, like things could just run at you. So if Sharpedo's in the water chasing you, who's up in the sky?
Oh, dude.
You know?
Pharaoh?
Yeah, dude.
Pharaoh, yeah.
I'm not worried about Altaria. By the way. Pharaoh, yeah. It's
a dragon type.
No, that's true. That is true.
We'll see. Flying.
You know what? I think it's gonna be like ZA. I think it's gonna be like different Pokemon will have different types of, like instead of just like one Pokemon, it's gonna be a variety. It'll be I could
see Salamence up there. You just minding your business. Salamence just go. Yeah,
dude.
That would be a really good one.
You get swallowed by a Cramorant. It like mistakes you for for whatever. Dude, I could just see like random Pokemon up there just like being territorial. I think you're absolutely right with the Fearow. Dude, missed opportunity if you're up in the sky and it's like that classic anime shot where Spearow, a horde of Spearow just drops down and like chases you. That's like,
that'd be crazy.
That would be so scary, dude. I could see Fearow. Dude,
this is also, side note, even though it's in Pokopia, this is another chance to put Ho-Oh in the sky, just flying across.
Dude.
This is another opportunity to do that.
Bro.
That would be dope.
No, 100%. No. I love that, Infamous. That has to happen because, again, that's something that we see in like Tears of the Kingdom with the dragons that are like constantly, like certain Pokemon are mapped. They're roaming Pokemon. That would be an amazing way to like adapt roaming Pokemon. You could have the Articuno Zapdos Moltres just flying in the sky slowly. And it's up to you to like hunt it down if you want it, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so sick, dude.
That would be great. And I can also see a situation where like they make a handful of legendaries into roaming Pokemon. So it's like you have some in the sky, you have some on the ground, and you have some in the water. And I could see a scenario where it's like kind of like the feather floating down to the ground. You could find like materials or items from these Pokemon that like let you know that they're there. You're like, holy crap, I just found this Ho-Oh feather, or I found this Lugia feather. And like every time you pick one of those up, it makes encountering them a little more likely. So now you're
dude,
looking for these items and like hunting out this Pokemon.
And you can get like a lucky roll of the dice. Like you get your starters, you start walking, and it's like there's a possibility to have that anime moment where Ho-Oh flies overhead, you know?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's so, and it's like a map. It's like that item that maybe you find is a map. It's a hint to maybe finding it.
Right.
But you could also stumble upon it. Like, dude, these are the things where I'm just like, this game could literally be so much fun.
There's so much they can
Holy
do.
cow! So
It's a lot.
yeah, I don't know how much more time you guys have, but let's talk about Fire Red and Leaf Green in ports. That was something that I've wanted for a long time, and I'm glad they're actually giving us. I'm having fun with Leaf Green. Are you guys playing?
I have not. I was actually telling Hoops I have some gift cards, so I'm kind of deciding, do I use it for Pokopia or do I use it for for that? Kind of what the option is. I think though in the scope, I think it's really just cool to see. I'm talking to some other people about it today. Like I think it's weird that we have to keep in mind that there's people. We've been fans of the franchise for a long time. We've been playing. Maybe our first game. I know for me, my first game was Fire Red. That was the first Pokemon game I kind of owned and played. But like some people, their first game was Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet. So they only know this 3D era of Pokemon, right? That's all they know.
It's real.
But it's entertaining to then they they love the franchise so much. They got kind of involved during those games. They're like, hey, we're gonna go back, play Fire Red, and just seeing people struggle with the physical special split. I've literally pulled up on people's streams, and they got like Bulbasaur with like cut, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? It's over. It's over before it began. Like it is just kind of funny to kind of see them kind of go through those same things we did when we were playing when we were younger. So
which is nice, dude. It's like a universal experience.
Yeah.
Something that is absolutely wild that I realized the other day is that you could have someone who is 18 years old right now whose first game was like Sword and Shield, because Sword and Shield came out 2019, and let's say that person was like 8 years old or something like that when they picked up Sword and Shield. They're gonna be like, I mean, depending on the age, they're gonna be like 15, 16, somewhere in there. And then like Gen 7, it's like you're like looking at like 18, 20 if you played your first game at like 7, 8 years old.
Dude,
it's
insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy because I mean, and it's definitely like something that's cool because you kind of unlock it as a fan of the franchise now. Because just showing my cousins, my younger cousins, like I think I showed them like Scarlet and Violet, and then I also showed them Fire Red, Leaf Green. They're like, that game's just dots, and I was like, okay, sure. But I think that's also like it is a product of that's the period that we're in. A lot of the games that come out nowadays are 3D, they're Fortnite level, like they're in this, their base engine is Unreal Engine. Like kids nowadays only know like Unreal Engine 5. We knew, pixels and this original style of Pokemon, like the GBA style. So it is kind of, again, it's cool to see how like the eras kind of come together, or see this newer era of Pokemon fans playing these older games and getting that experience. So
yeah,
it's been cool. The ports are, I think I've been enjoying mainly just seeing people interact and play these games. I eventually will pick up Fire Red at some point.
Sick.
I want to play it.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, if you're not, I mean, there's other ways to play these games. As always, like the discourse was always so annoying to me because I'm like, listen, if the argument is like, why pay for it? You can just steal it. I'm like, then go steal it. But like, I'm down for the convenience of playing these, right?
It's no shade to people who emulate, because it's really not that big a deal at the end of the day. But it blows my mind that like, the argument against buying something on the eShop like this essentially amounts to, well, why would you do that when you could just steal it? Like that's basically what people are saying, and it's like, I know it's not that deep, but it's like also crazy that it's even like a thought. Like it's not
just, like
it's not,
you don't have
me.
the higher ground. Okay, relax, Obi-Wan. I don't know, I'm having fun. Also, Infamous, I guess the thing that like, I mean, I was gonna buy these regardless, but like the thing that actually kind of got me excited after I played is I realized like you can get Ho-Oh and Lugia in either version, and then also you can get Deoxys, which is also so sick, on these like new islands, like that I've personally never been to when playing, when the last time I played these games. And it's like not even so much just to collect it for home. It's more of like to have that Pokemon in this version of a Pokemon game, because it's going to have a unique sprite. And again, it's like it's just like an experience. It's like a mystery gift. So I'm pretty pumped for that. It's so little,
and that's stuff
but it does push me over
that's
the
stuff
edge.
That's stuff most people haven't even played. Like I haven't played those events.
I've never played it.
So limited.
I haven't either.
Yeah. Again, in the grand scheme of things, like, I mean, yeah, you were saying like you got some personal stuff going on. Like, I get it. Like, this isn't, like, it's not like, holy cow, you can catch Deoxys now in this game versus the other game. But it's like, I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
I do find it interesting too because we're playing this game in a new scope and a new time, right? Back in the day, you only knew what you played, and then whatever your friends found out about during school, right? That was all the information you had, unless you were lucky enough to get like the official game book from Pokemon or GameStop or whatever, right?
For real.
But it's interesting in this era too, because I'll pop on Twitter and I see people making like the tutorials about like the infinite gold on Nugget Bridge. I didn't know about that.
Dude, I actually did not know about that, and I just passed Nugget Bridge. I'm going to do that so I can use Porygon, because I've never used. I don't think I've ever even captured Porygon in this game.
So
right?
Like,
you can like.
It's just kind of cool to see, like, we're getting all these secrets, and I'm like, dude, I would not have known this otherwise.
Yeah.
So I have all this information now. Everyone knows these glitches, these tips and tricks. You're bringing that, and you're creating now a new experience for someone who's played this game 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even 20 times, which is really cool.
I gotta be honest, like, but that's also the joy of these games being ported. Like, it's not just that you can now hoard this game. It's the fact that, like, I was saying this before this even came out. My whole thing was like, okay, if they put out Fire Red, everyone's gonna be playing Fire Red and Leaf Green as if it's like, I mean, it is. It's a brand new publicly released game. At least this week, it's felt like everyone's playing it, and it's in the zeitgeist, and like people are like discovering little things. I think that's what happened when like Gens 1 and 2 came out for the 3DS. Like, I remember all the YouTubers. I mean, yeah, Hoops. You're guilty of this probably. People started putting out, like people started putting out like new theory videos about Red, Blue, and Yellow, and I don't know. I just think that's awesome. I'm like, these games are part of the zeitgeist again. I love it, dude. It feels like a new game. It's not, but it feels like that.
Cool.
I
know there was again, the discourse was really around like the price and then it not released going to NSO and all that. Look, it's just, to me, I was like, look, everyone complained, oh, we want the games. They give you the games, and there's like still a problem. Like, just dude,
100%.
Enough pleasing people.
100%, dude.
Just play it or don't. It's not that hard.
I know the price argument is pretty much over, so I don't want to bring it up again. But one thing I will say is that a lot of people were saying they should be $10 like Red and Blue were, and no one had a problem with $10 for Red and Blue back in the day.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, so you're telling me that $10 for a game on the 3DS should be worth this, like the Red, Blue, and Yellow on the 3DS is $10, and you're telling me the literal remake of those on the Switch should be worth the same price.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's double the value right there.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. I thought you were gonna go yeah, that's funny, dude. You're right. Yeah, 100%. And it really is that much better of a game. Like,
it is.
I mean, Red, Blue, and Yellow. I mean, I know they have a nice spot in our brains, like in our collective consciousness. It's like, oh, I love those games. But they're buggy and they're ugly and they are nice and they're special for what they are. But like, I'm glad we're playing Fire. I was actually, the closer we got to Pokemon Day, the more worried I got that they were going to port just Red, Blue, and Yellow and be like, are you happy? I would probably be on the other side. I would probably be like, this is not worth $20. This is actually like low, and you haven't done, that
wouldn't, I would agree that wouldn't be worth $20. But like this, even before they came out, I was like 15, 20. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. To me, I was just because, and nothing against Pokemon, right? A little greedy. I wouldn't have been surprised if they said, hey, $30, whatever.
Bro, honestly, I would still pay for it probably.
$20, bro. I spent that on lunch yesterday.
Dude, yes. As an adult, no, this is what it is. As an adult, like when people were screaming about this, I'm like, bro, my bus ticket to Boston so I could get an Amtrak cost $20. And then I had to buy the Amtrak, which guess what? That was well over $100. I'm like,
And then another way you could look at it too.
My grocery. You want to know what my grocery bill was? Oh my God.
Yeah. Another way you can look at this too is you could put like 50, maybe even 100 hours into the
Yes, dude.
and they're $20. You are literally paying pennies on the dollar at that point per hour of entertainment that this is giving you.
Yeah.
Like as a value proposition, it's not a bad deal.
Anyways, yeah, I'm not trying to. I feel like every time we talk about price, I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I think people just get FOMO. I think that's actually what it is. People get FOMO. I think you know what? I actually was watching a video today, and I do actually think I don't remember who this was, but they were kind of talking about how like there's really more of just like a burn that I feel like culturally we all feel. With just how many things, it's like we don't own anything, but also everything costs something. And it's, I guess this person was kind of, this creator was kind of like attributing some of the backlash to just kind of this, like this exhaustion that we kind of all feel collectively with just how expensive everything is. So I do get it. And I'm I guess sensitive to that concept, but I don't know. It's just funny how everything turns into like a meme. Everything's just like ridiculous.
Yeah, I can understand the idea of like
it's not a war. Like relax.
But not own. Yeah, like I can understand paying for something but not owning it, but it's ironic because that was something that people that didn't like the price were arguing for. They wanted it to be on NSO and included. Well, then it's like you wouldn't own it. It would be in the cloud.
Dude, 100%.
Exactly
like at least you own it now.
I'm so glad
God, this is such a better decision because I was asking people like because I saw that same argument and I was like, but then we don't own it. Like then let's say you don't pay your subscription, you can't play this game ever.
I know.
Now I can infinitely play this whenever I want.
100%
disconnected.
So
like,
pumped.
this is the way it should be. Like this is the way it should be. If I pay for it, I own it. Like
I didn't even think about it, but like also you have multiple save files. I bought Leaf Green. I could now just make a new profile to play through the game again. I didn't even think about that. And guess what? That is like you can move those to home. Like if you start a new save file on a new profile, you can still move those Pokemon to your home account and then into your normal game. Not to Leaf Green. I don't think you can move it back. I don't think. But all right, let's keep going. Jen, because I got one more thing and I think you guys got to bounce. But Jen Renegade, showing the love again. He says, this is the last super chat. Crying emoji. He says, I started at 7 years old with Fire Red. I'm 30 now. It's fun playing the events I never got to, and my nephews are asking me for help. That's nice that you're, dude. Thank you for the super chat. That's nice that your nephews are playing the game. I think you guys were talking about that earlier, but like, yeah, my nieces, they're old enough now. They've ripped through Scarlet and Violet. I think they've played Let's Go. One of them is playing Sword and Shield right now. But I'm kind of like hesitant to show them these games. I think I'm gonna next time I see them. But I don't know if they would like it. I don't know if you know what I'm saying? Like it is that's like what you were saying that. Yeah, I'm like I don't know if it'll hold up.
Just with this, like at least I think with them, like at least they're playing it, right? Just like mine was more of a situation like they had never played Pokemon games, so I showed them Fire Red and Scarlet and Violet, and we obviously have our opinions on Scarlet and Violet, but they're so used to these like 3D model eras of Pokemon or just games in general.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, like that's what I would play because it's 3D like Fortnite or whatever, Roblox or whatever, right? And that's what most kids play. So, but I think if they've already played a couple, then it's an easier transition than just being like, which one? And you've never played before. So,
Infamous, what would your team be? If you played these games, what's your go-to Gen 1 squad, or are you trying to experiment?
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the team back in the day being that great. Charizard was definitely it was like
so
old school
good.
team where like your starter is like level 90 and the rest of the team's like 36. Like it was one of those situations.
People say Charizard is like hard mode in these games, but I think in Fire Red, like Charizard is actually like. It makes this game so easy once you get to like right after Rock Tunnel. I'm like, you're beating the whole game.
The fact they gave it Metal Claw is kind of busted.
Yeah,
dude, that was the coolest thing growing up. When I realized when it learned Metal Claw for the first time, I was like, this is insane.
For me, it's interesting. I think this one I'd probably go with a more definitive team. Like I probably would actually round it out more because I think I had like back in the day was like Charmander, then I grabbed a Pidgeot, and then I grabbed like a Mankey, but then I didn't know how to evolve Poliwhirl. Like it just never clicked to get a Water Stone.
Dude, I like that though. That's kind of cool. Dude, I'm
So,
gonna use a Poliwhirl. I like that.
My team was so uneven, but like this time around, I probably would have a more balanced team. One Pokemon I do want to use that I just never got to back in the day, just again not putting it together, was Nidoking. I want to use Nidoking in this game. Just because I mean it's such a superior Pokemon. So
I loved back in the day catching a Nidoran and instantly using the Moonstone as soon as it evolved into Nidoran.
Yes,
have a level 16 Nidoking.
Yeah, dude, it feels so busted.
Destroy everything.
That was always my like yellow team. It would be Pikachu and then Nidoqueen and Nidoking, and then Pidgeot, or probably Pidgeotto at the time. But I'm like level 20. I've got like the most stacked team possible. I just thought it was so cool to have like double evolutions. Yeah, dude, I like the idea of. Here's the thing, like I know like it's like wrong, it's like incorrect to not evolve the Pokemon, but like that's also kind of special. I feel like that's how we all played Gen 1 originally. It was like you're supposed to use like an unevolved like Machoke or something, because like if you can't trade with your friend, it is what it is. Not having the right evolution stone, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Like my Charizard's got cut and fly.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it can't unlearn
it. Next time we get I've never really done that before, like getting unevolved Pokemon. But like next time we get a Johto game, I think I'll do that with Cyndaquil and just keep him as my buddy the whole time.
Dude, you should.
Because then it's like that feels very just like ash coated, where it's like you got your unevolved Pokemon, but he's like your guy and he's like strong.
Yeah,
that
would be fun.
I will say when I replayed through Scarlet and Violet, and I used the team that I last used, I had Sprigatito, so I didn't evolve it into Meowscarada until we hit Area 0. So I had Floragato for most of the run.
Sure.
And it was great. And I think also Floragato is like, it's a really good middle stage Pokemon. So, but it was really just fun to use that Pokemon, wreck house, and it not be fully evolved. And then obviously just have a cool Pokemon in the process. So
yeah,
it was a good time.
No, I like that, man. It is fun. Yeah, when did we talk to you last, Infamous? I feel like was it after ZA?
Was it? No, I don't.
Maybe it was leading up to ZA. I feel like
maybe so.
Yeah, you were talking about how like you're like it feels like the anime or maybe we were just talking offline and you were like, I'm just gonna use this squad that's like I can just do whatever I want. I can choose when to evolve them.
Yeah, and that's always been the perk. I kind of praise like Legends Arceus for that because most of the team, or at least like most of the run when I did Legends Arceus, it was Duat and Monferno, and they were just a duo handling work. And then obviously when I evolved them into like Samurai and Infernape, it just felt way more deserved. Yeah. Like just brothers in arms, just doing everything they could. And then you kind of have those cool moments, which was really, really cool. So I enjoyed it. It was super fun. It was kind of weird though, because when I was streaming ZA and I wasn't evolving Pignite, people were like, why hasn't he evolved it yet? It's level 45. And I'm like, so like I have a thing that now like when I do streams like that, it'll pop up and it'll say, hey, this is an anime run, blah, 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 and whatever blurb of text it has. So that way people, when they come in, are like not constantly asking, hey, why do you have a level 50 this Pokemon that's not evolved yet? So
oh my god,
it's a good time. I prefer it. I think it really kind of adds to the gameplay a little more, and I think it helps appreciate middle stages, right? Yeah. Because I like how often back in the day, how long would I actually keep like a Pignite for? As soon as it's hitting 36, you're gone.
No, yeah, so and that's gonna be the 100. There'll be 200 hours after those first 10, So yeah. No, I love that. Man.
I had back in the day during Red and Blue, I had a cousin who sometimes we play Pokemon together, and we would battle with the link cable. That dates me a little bit, but we battled with the link cable. And she had a level 100 Charmeleon that just wrecked my trash. And it was like it was just like so not fun at the time because I was getting my butt kicked, but it made for such a good memory of like this like this level 100 Charmeleon that was just like unbeatable, but it was a mid stage, you know.
I love
So
that, man.
it's
I
like,
love that so much.
you can have a lot of fun with pretty much any Pokemon, especially in a main story playthrough. It's like you can make any Pokemon like crazy.
Yeah.
powerful.
You just have to
And
level it up. You got me. I'm using
yeah.
Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl. I'm gonna use Poliwhirl. I think
it's really cool Pokemon, and I enjoyed it. He was fun on the team, and I kind of on that note, this makes me really excited for, when I jump into Winds and Waves. I want to keep my starter for a while, and then obviously evolve it when that time comes. So, yeah, that'll be a good time. I can't wait. Should be super fun.
Insane, man.
Starter like live in game for the first time when you don't know what it's going to become.
Yeah.
is the funnest thing.
Yeah.
Also be like.
I'm not gonna be able to do that though. That's painful, dude.
No, you got to hold out, dude. You cannot do not succumb to the starter league.
Oh,
I know sometimes you get into them.
Yeah,
but like
it's tough.
Dude, we have. I mean, we have to though. Like, I don't know
because
it's like once it's out there, it's out there. Unless it's like a week before.
I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to.
It's so tough because like. I will say, and it's nothing bad about this Pokemon, but imagine you're just playing a game, and you got your starter. Wow, you were so great. I'm so glad I picked you up. And then it gets to that middle stage, and you're like, just everything in your body's like, no. Now, me personally, and there's nothing against it, right? It was more of an anime thing. So back in Ruby is what I had. I started the game with Torchic. I was always a fire. I was like, fire starter. Dude. That's me. All right, we're picking up Torchic.
Well, Torchic is the best.
Right, and I had Torchic, and then I got Combuskin. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, kind of weird.
I got Blaziken, and then I watched the anime, and I saw Ash had a Sceptile, and I said, well, that can't be. So I restarted the game, and I got Trico.
No way, dude. Come on.
And
yo, you
I
anime bros, you guys love Ash. I'm like dude, forge your own path. Dude, Blaziken's the GOAT.
He has a type of magnet. Like, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have used Dracovish, and then Ash picked him up, and I was like, damn, this Pokemon is crazy.
Yeah, no, it is true. It is true.
This is an insane mon.
Dude, you probably picked Blaziken because Blaziken whooped Ash's butt in the Johto League or in the Silver Conference.
Yeah, it was also really popular Pokemon because of that too. But then like I'm kind of glad that I switched over because I love Sceptile. I love the Trico line as a whole.
For sure, yeah.
It's an S tier middle stage too.
Spoiler alert, they're all good. They're really all good.
I won't say that.
What, do you not like Mudkip?
No.
Come on, dude. No. What are you talking about? Mudkip is literally the best.
I'm not with the Mudkip.
Bro, come on.
Man, this guy.
Oh my god, you're kidding, dude.
Come on.
It's so cute.
No.
All right, listen.
I'm cooled off the Mudkip.
Soul's not on the podcast right now, but guess what? The takes are just as bad. My god, dude. Oh my god. Don't like Mudkip? What do you mean, dude?
I'm just
don't
whatever.
like Mudkip.
I will say the only thing I give the line, I think I like the one part that most people don't like. I like its mega. And a lot of people don't like its mega.
It's good. He's a buff boy, dude. He's
I think he has like some of the best like shape language for like a mega. He's really cool.
Yeah.
Besides that though, I'm cool. I'll keep my Trico. He's doing the work. My guy.
Yeah. All right. Real quick. So yeah, the chat was telling me I am reading the chat. The chat said I should definitely show these games to my nieces and nephews, and honestly, I'll do it. I've been hesitating, but I'm not like against it. There's nothing to lose if I show it to them. And then Helio Nick super chatted very kindly, and they say Fire Red on the SP and Road Trip to Yellowstone. That's tough, man. That's tough. Dude, yeah. Yellowstone. Oh, dude, I got to go back out there. I was playing, I think when I went to California, we drove south. What is it called? We drove on the coast. So there was a whole road trip. No, maybe that was to Wyoming. On one of my last trips out west, I brought my SP and I was playing Ruby version, and it was a fun little save file. It's nice, dude. The little games, the little Game Boys, it is nice. It hits different because it's actually small. Yeah. You could put it you could put it in your pocket. You know, I'm not doing that with my Switch.
No.
You know.
Imagine.
Yeah, insane. I have a vivid memory, kind of like that. When I was playing Gold and Silver, and we were on a camping trip.
Yeah.
And my family's all doing camping stuff, but I have my Game Boy, and I'm climbing the radio tower when Team Rocket's taking over. I'm like, you guys go do your camping stuff. I got better things to do. I'm battling Team Rocket right now.
Dude, I've done that. I always brought my Game Boy like on camping. Like a lot of my memories playing with like older cousins or whatever, it'll be at a campground on a family trip, and we'll be just like hanging out by the fire. Like I'm talking about Game Boy, like Game Boy Color. I remember doing like in Gen 2 doing like was it called the mystery gift back then, where you'd like line up the infrared sensor. I don't know. I got memories. Camping and Pokemon, dude, best friends. That's the best.
And it's funny. It's funny because I have multiple. Like I remember in the Gen 7 era, we did another family camping trip, and me and my cousin were having this big discussion about whether the starter leaks that were like actual legit leaks, like whether they were real and did we like them, and it was just like it makes for a good time. Like camping and Pokemon is a vibe.
It is, dude. Okay, do you think we're gonna get Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald? We talked about it a little bit. It makes perfect sense with the diving and
I don't see why not. Yeah, it's just I guess more of a product of when.
Yeah.
So,
but no hard opinions.
I think I'm pretty. I feel like fairly confident that it'll be Pokemon Day next year, because I do not see a world where they do it this year. They're not dropping 2 ports in a year with Pokopia and Champions. Like I don't see that happening, but I can very much see it happening next year. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that like the original box art has the Game Boy Advance wireless adapter
on it.
Yeah, just like includes this little because that's what was on the box art. That's kind of insane.
I remember that.
I did too.
I remember watching the commercial where they promoted it. And whoa, wireless. Whoa.
It literally was a big deal, dude. That was crazy. Yeah.
It was a big deal.
And they debuted it they debuted it like it was a pack-in for a Pokemon game. That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly like, I know we talked about how everyone comes from different. I'm like so glad that I somehow looked out and like entered the world at the same time Pokemon entered the world.
Yeah.
So I got to play from like the start, just like probably the biggest luck pull of my life, to be honest.
Someone brought it up. My buddy Galarian Gold was like, he was like, I think it was one of his videos. He was describing it like, 30 years of Pokemon is a big deal because like that's how old the franchise, the Star Wars franchise was as an IP. I think when the prequels came out, or maybe it's older than when the prequels came. Like, in our mind, Star Wars is, in my mind, it's like Star Wars is like, it's ancient. But Pokemon's right up there with it. Pokemon is ancient. I guess I'm ancient. But okay, what I was gonna say is that like we're the old heads. Like for Pokemon, we're the old heads who are like who were there in the theaters like when that debuted.
And when we're like 60, 70 years old, they're gonna be like, you played Gen 1? Yeah. Can you tell us about it, Grandpa?
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story.
Go ahead, Papa Squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
my
awesome.
God, dude. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to have you guys both on another time because I feel like we barely talked about the actual reveals in Winds and Waves. But maybe real quick, I could get you letting people know what starter you're choosing and why.
I'm a hardcore Brout buddy.
Ooh.
Okay. That's my guy.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
I'll tell you at first, like initial reveal, I will say Gekko caught the eye immediately. I was like, oh wow, very different looking Pokemon. And I think initially when I saw the 3D like in the trailer for Brout, I was like, that ain't it. Then I saw the 2D art and I said, hold on. This guy might be cooking something, right?
He's got a lot of personality.
And then I saw more pictures coming out and I was like, I think I can I can picture myself with this Pokemon. And then obviously we got all the recent Brout propaganda. It's everywhere.
It's
right?
crazy.
Him with the puffer, him with the angry face. It gets, he's got everything. And I think at this point, he is my definitive choice. Like I'm holding strong. Hopefully his evolutions are good. I'm trying to stay optimistic, but he's like I like Brow. I think simple design, very cleanly executed. I think all of them are great. I think all the stars are fantastic, but Brow took it.
For real.
That's the one I'm choosing.
Which direction do you think the evolution is going to go? We have a lot of bird starter Pokemon already. We've got the Fighting Chicken. We've got Empoleon, who's like way more defensive. Quaquaval's a dancer, and then Decidueye is like an emo kid with his beanie.
Yeah, kind of special tech oriented. I think I'm not 100% sure. And I it's kind of hard because you can't like fully play into it, but I'm hoping that word energetically is meaning something. I'm kind of praying that it is.
Electric type?
I yes. So I ran a poll. You can pull up if you want. I think it has like 70,000 votes on it right now.
Is this on Twitter or on YouTube?
It's on my YouTube in my post, community post. So I had it listed out. Only thing that I didn't put in there was electric, grass and electric. But I did put all the typings, right? What I really don't like about Brout when looking at him initially is he has so many bad combinations. Because if they go grass flying, he's getting destroyed by ice. If he goes grass fighting,
sure,
Aerial Ace takes him out. If it's just his if he goes
but
that's all
in a vacuum though. That's all in a vacuum.
It is, but at the same time, like God, he just kind of gets set up for 4 times.
Sure.
Pretty rough. And I think it also would be just also really different to give us something like grass electric because it's not a very common type. We've had you get grass flying literally with the first 2 stages of the Rowlet line.
Yeah.
And I think that would be really cool to do something just a little bit different. I don't want grass fighting, especially with Mega Chestnut just coming out in the last game. I'm cool on that.
Good point. That's fair.
Plus your last kind of like aquatic bird Pokemon was water fighting. I want something different.
Yeah. The biggest.
Go
for it.
Here's a little tidbit though on that note. When we got Legends Arceus, the typings of those starters were the same typings as the Gen 9 starters.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So
part.
could we get a correlation there with ZA? In which case it would be Grass Fairy, Firefighting, and
Water Dragon.
Dude, that's a good pick.
Water Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, Water Dragon.
I have seen people mention like some of the art that's been going around for like Gecko, like Water Dragon, Water Poison, and Water Psychic tend to be the most 3 popular ones. I just want Brout to shine. I just want my guy Brout to shine. I actually, for the most part, maybe because I will be scared to evolve him, I will keep him as a Brout as long as I can.
Yeah,
like as long as like I'm willing to go. But I am hoping his evolutions do look really cool. But so far, he's been great. Gecko had me immediately just looking at it, but then I saw Brout and I was like, all right, I think this is my guy. I think this is the one I'm choosing. So yeah.
Jen Renegade said, "Okay, I lied." Another super chat. Thank you, man. He says because Gekwa is Bestua. Gekwa Beshwa. Yeah. People love it, man. I do love this Pokemon a lot. I think they're actually all really, really strong. So
it's interesting to me that it feels like the most popular one because for me, it's like my least favorite of them.
Gekwa?
And I don't dislike it at all, but it's my least favorite of the 3. So.
I feel like Pombon is the favorite.
Yeah, most of the polls, the last poll I ran for all 3, Bompon, had like almost 50% of votes. It's funny, Brout's the one that's not disliked, but it has the least amount of votes, but it obviously has the biggest kind of audience on like Twitter and social media. So
Brout is
every poll
it's growing.
Voted in, Brout is like the least liked one.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
But for me though, it's kind of flipped because Bompon is actually the one that I like the least out of the trio. Again, all 3 of them are really strong. And I think this is just being frank, I think this is a really, really good trio.
It is.
It might be like one of my. It's up there with like some of my top favorites.
It's the first time for me since Gen 6, I would say, where like I look at all 3 of them.
Yeah,
like, at least their first stages, and I'm like, yeah, good. cool. Like past few generations, there's been like one at least that I'm like, no. But this one, it's like, yeah, let's go.
I could use any of them, but yeah, it's all over the place. It's really interesting. I can't wait. And obviously, once the evolutions come out and people start seeing that's obviously when stuff will start to tilt. But like as far as initial first stages, they're all really really strong.
For real,
simple but clean. Brout's my guy. I look, he's just so great. This is the design. I love it so much. Like I did not expect them to kind of to go so hard. I mean, glad they did for Gen 10. And there's been like a lot of sick art online. A lot of different people making all kind of like cool evolutions and predictions. So it does make me optimistic for hopefully again good typing, good design. They got to kill it. I think they're just really cool stuff. But can't wait to see it. It'd be
for
sick.
real. Hoops. Which one are you picking?
I'm also going for Brout.
Oh, let's go.
This is because so I am, as you might know if you follow my channel, I'm really big into designs of the Pokemon and like how they're created. And to me, Brout just has the most Pokemon design of the three. What I mean by that, it's got a lot of really like nice, clever layers that like just make up its design. Like for instance, it's a chick because it's a literal chickpea.
Yeah.
I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
And then its body is shaped like a little, like literally like a little chickpea, like a little bean. I think that's super fun. It's also got
you're right.
Yeah. With the angry eyes. That's fun. And then the thing that sold me, I was like kind of between Pombon and Brout, and then I noticed this and I was like, okay, Brout all the way. I love how like its eyebrows that are little leaves connect to its beak and it's like a little sprout.
Yeah.
It's so like
good.
ingenious. I love that. And that's the kind of things that I love about Pokemon is when they like bring all these little just tidbits and little features together. So that's what won me over.
It's so cute.
And then
I think even its feet, man, like it looks like you could just like plant him in like a potter. His feet are like the roots.
Yeah. And then like with Pombon is like my second of the three, so it was the one I was going back and Brout, and I like it a lot, but it's in contrast, it's kind of just a dog.
Yeah, bro.
Where Brout, I feel like Brout has more creativity, and so that's kind of why I sided with Brout. But
to add to that, and that's kind of why I also made Bonbon my kind of least favorite of the three, because I'm like, this Pokemon is like one miscolor away from a regional early route dog. Like you make this thing tan all over, it's like Lillipupp's cousin.
Damn.
So it's which again, not a bad design, but I just feel like in comparison it is a little plain. But I have high hopes for it hopefully being Fire Fairy. Hopefully lock that into the universe.
Fire Fairy would be sick.
That would probably be the only thing that's holding it back. I know everyone's taping its feet down and everything, whatever.
I will say though that it's not like it's like totally plain, because it's got like its little toe beans that you can barely see on its one foot. They're shaped in it's the kanji, I believe, for fire. They're shaped like the kanji for fire. Which is super dope.
That.
I wanted to also say like he also bark like a fire breathing dragon. His flame comes from his bark, from his throat, which I also think is like not for nothing. That's like a nice little detail. I also think they could have just made, so if it's based on a Pomeranian, it could have been fuzzy all over, but instead they focused like the flares into its face, which I think kind of looks like, I don't know, just like an open flame, like an emoji of a flame. You can see that straight up in his face, even with the little wisp of like his tuft of hair between his ears. I don't know. I think it's nice. I agree it's not as like cleverly put together, but there are layers here.
Yeah. And there's a theory about that tuft of hair possibly paintbrush and that having something to do with its evolutions. And if it does go in that direction, then that's a clever like design trait, and I'll give it credit for that.
For sure.
It's not bad by any means.
Yeah, man. That sounds good.
Starters. Really good starters.
Who are you going for, Dusty?
I think so. I was Pombon, and I'm going to stick to that, I think, just because that was my gut. Like, I've wanted a dog Pokemon, dog starter for a really long time. It's like insulting how many cats we have, how many birds we have, and it's like I'm like, if these things are
This is our fifth bird. This is our fifth bird.
Dude, it's criminal. Like
it's so crazy.
Like talk about like household pets, right? It's a dog. Why do we not have dog starter Pokemon? It's insulting. Pomeranian's not really my like genre of dog, but I am pumped that we got it. If this thing evolves, this is the thing. If this thing evolves into all the things that I'm seeing online, into a Mastiff, right? Into just like some sort of big, fuzzy, fluffy dog, like I'm down, bro. I'm so ready for it, dude. I want it to be Arcanine. I want it to be Arcanine 2.0. Like if we get that, I think Pombon is going to go down as one of the greats next to Charizard. I really think it could be so good, dude. That being said, after a week, like my initial like hype for Pombon has just like died down, and I'm Team Brout. The propaganda got me. The eyes threw me off, and when you look at him at a glance, he seems kind of simple and boring. But it's like it's all those layers that Hoops is talking about. You know, all those layers I think are what make Brout just so great, dude. I love the little. You know what I noticed also, like the Rowlet has the same sprout, like the leaf sprout bow tie.
Like bow tie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This Brout's got the same ones, but it's his eyebrows. It's crazy.
It's
identical.
It's so simple, but it's effective, and it's interesting that like the propaganda got you. I think the propaganda for me sealed it. I was already like, cool, I like Brout. I'll tell you, once I saw him in the puffer jacket, I said, "There's no other starter to choose. He's in a puffer. Like he's no one to compete with him.
I know.
He looks so good.
Oh, well.
Like it's just to me everything that I could want from a starter. So and I do tell people like if he is whatever for reason, if he's fighting type, it's fine. Fighting is my favorite type. I don't prefer him to not be fighting type.
Yeah.
But I'm really optimistic. Again, really strong trio. I think as a trio, this could, once we get some more time with them and stuff like that, I think this could go down as one of the strongest, at least first stage starter trios
for real
in Pokemon. So,
dude, I wouldn't even be upset if Pombon became a fighting type. I wouldn't even be disappointed. It's been like
some
20...
people would be pretty bad.
No, I know, but it's been like 15 years. Again, it's just those memes had value 15 years ago. Those same people complaining about it. It's like they're the same people saying Johto sucks. Oh, well. And I'm not even trying to call you out.
And you know what's funny about that? It not only has it been 15 years, but outside of Paldean Tauros, I believe.
Oh yeah,
the 3 firefighting starters are the only firefighting Pokemon in existence.
Bro,
so it's actually a really rare type.
Yeah. So let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back.
If anything, I would be more disappointed if it was Fire Ghost at this point.
Sure. No, 100%. Yeah. Dude, Grass Dark, Fire Ghost, never want to see those ever again. And again, at this point, I'll take a Water Ice. Water Poison was, I feel like Water Ice was kind of, it was a little like plentiful.
Very different.
Yeah, in Gen 1. But like, that's kind of cool. I'm not saying Dick wasn't
I think Ice needs help anyway. Ice needs help and love as a whole.
Dude, Grass Electric, I think that's happening.
To me, I would love it. I would be over the moon. There's that one art I keep seeing. It's my favorite one by far.
Yeah.
I forget who made it.
If they did Grass Electric, Fire Fairy, and Water Psychic. Well, Psychic doesn't actually count for what I'm about to say, but I was gonna say that they could do secondary types that like have never been used. So like Electric's never been used. Fairy actually has Fairy been used. Fairy's been used with Meganium. Primarina.
Yeah, Primarina.
Okay, then I guess scratch my idea, but that could be cool.
No, I see what you're saying. I think we just want unique types. I gotta be honest. It's like it's always so disappointing. I don't know. Sword and Shield was so disappointing when we got just a bunch of monotype Pokemon.
Oh, I hated that.
Like, and it's like I don't like it because I feel like when you add another type, it actually allows the Pokemon's design to take on a little bit more depth. And I feel like Cinderace feels so like, for me, I know some people like it, but as an example, or Inteleon, like I'm not a fan of them, and I'm like, I feel like if they had another type, those are new things and personalities and attributes that could be applied to the design. you know?
appreciated. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. 'Cause I remember all that era. Everyone was making the art of like Fire Electric,
Dude.
Cinderace, the Water Ghost, Water Dark, and Teleon.
Dude, so good.
The Rillaboom was always kind of weird because I saw people do like Grass Normal or Grass Rock, just kind of depending on what it was.
Yeah,
But
it could be. I think grass is fine for Rillaboom.
it's fine, but we are in an era where it's like also we know we still have like just a handful of those unused type combos, and Fire Fairy being there, I'm like, this is just, you don't have a better time to execute it.
Yeah.
You don't like it, bomb, like it's right there. I say use that and let it be Fire and Fairy type starter. That would be amazing.
Also, like
Plus
a starter Pokemon is supposed. It's like it's a starter Pokemon should be rare and special. Like you don't get these in the wild. They're gifts, and it gives you an inherent advantage on your adventure. It should be something that you can't just capture out in the wild. That's what I think. You know?
I agree. Give us something new, something different. That's all I'm looking for. Fire Fairy, and then give me my Ice Poison Pokemon. I don't care what it is.
That's cool.
That'd be really cool.
Ice Poison's cool.
It's crazy to me that we haven't had an Ice Poison type when like basing a Pokemon on the common cold is like right there.
It's right there.
Oh, bro, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so
right
good.
there. It's so basic, but we've never got it.
Yeah, what would that
I
even be?
remember-
Dude, a bird, maybe?
A lot of people thought too, like when Sneasler was first shown, everyone was like, "Oh, it's the Ice Poison type. We finally got it." And we were like,
Dude. Yeah. Nuts, dude. Sky Jordan says, Water Ghost, Gectoplasm. That's pretty good.
Ooh.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm cool.
Water Ghost would be nice. Water Ghost would be nice. There's only like what, Jellicent? What else? I think that's it.
I feel like there's another one, but I can't say it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's fairly unique.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks to everyone who's watching right now. Go check out Infamous Trainer on his channel, Infamous Trainer, and then let's see if we can pull this up. Hoops, and there he is. Hoops and Hip Hop right here as well. Links will be in the description, or actually no, you guys are going to be tagged in the video in like an hour or so. Once the video goes live, we'll do the collaboration feature. And also check out Infamous also is on, I'll give a shout out to the boys, the Rocket Radio Squad, our brothers and rivals in this Pokemon podcast game.
The one that streams once a year.
Yeah, bro. Listen, when it happens, like it's an event.
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's always a good time.
But we definitely gotta link up again, and do another episode of Rocket Power.
Oh yeah. It's been a minute. We definitely want to.
We did one episode.
Yeah, we definitely want to do it some more and dive into it and yeah, we're just trying to, now that Pokemon Day's back, we're all kind of getting our footing right now. We're all of us kind of got some stuff going on. We're trying to do or plan or work or whatever it is.
No, you guys have a great show. I was listening to the new podcast you guys put out about just reacting to all the news. So
yeah.
It was a good one. You guys streamed it, right? Yeah, here it is. Right here.
Yeah, we streamed it. It was a good time. Love it, all 5 of us together. That's also a rare occurrence.
Done.
Like it was.
I know. I tried to get Hybrid on, and he said, "I'm playing Pokopia," and I said, "All right, that's fine."
Yeah. He's trying to that.
Let it be known that my plans today were to play Pokopia, but I sacked those plans.
Yo, that's awesome, bro. Thank you so much.
That Hybrid.
That's awesome, bro. Here's the thing. It's like I guess I could get Pokopia, but I also kind of want to just play Leaf Green. Am I a bad person? I don't know. I feel like I want like a whole day to play Pokopia so I can like get enveloped. I got work to do in the morning. I don't want to start a new game and be up all night.
It's. I think it'll be really good. Save it for like the weekend when that time comes around. You play it, really can dive into it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the way to do it for sure.
Thank you guys so much. If you want to support, you can always become a member. Links are in the description, YouTube or Patreon. You get access to the secret Discord. You also get access to an extra Pokemon podcast every single week. And you also are just supporting this show so we can bring you. I feel like we've done 10 streams in the last week or something like that. I don't know. It's been crazy, and it's all possible because of you guys watching. So thank you so much. Also check out shop.hiddenpowerpodcast.com. We got new merch. And also I'm going to be, Hidden Power is going to be live in Boston at PAX East on Sunday. Come check it out if you're in the area. I know some of you are. Get a ticket to PAX. Come hang out with us. We're doing a live panel. Yeah, and I'd love to, I don't know, see you guys at PAX. I'm pumped. I'm really pumped to do that. I'm a little bit nervous because it's literally a live pod, like it's live in person. There's gonna be people watching.
That's awesome, bro.
I'm a little freaked out if I gotta be honest with you. It's a different vibe.
You got it. You boys got it.
It'll be good. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.